on our stream. I need to tag you as well.
Might end up just being like if we live once or twice a week, it might just be a rotating scale now. Because I'll probably go the day after Terry.
I mean, I definitely can't. I can't promise to be on a schedule for mine, sadly.
Yeah, no.
I don't think any
I think it'll
really
just not at all. With the amount of times we've left, like this is the 8th time I've left the country. There's no way.
Yeah.
But it would be kind of dope if there's a Cine Gear build, if we have some sort of place we could live from.
I don't know if I'm going to build. People in the chat, if you guys are chiming in, let us know if you're going to the B&H Build Expo thing in New York.
I'm gonna go. It's super close. I could drive there. So.
Good here. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I could drive to Cine Gear. That's only like an hour and a half for me.
Yeah, I think it's like 5 or 6 from Toronto if I drive there.
That's not bad.
And also I'm pretty sure
we already got questions in the. What are you talking about, Logan?
I was in Houston. I don't know what anyone's talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. What are you talking about, Logan? What's up, Rodrigo? Let me make sure.
I'll be there for NY the B&H, but yeah, man. What up? Finally made it to the chat. I can't be in the chat. I can only look at it.
I think you have to go and like play the live, but just pause it, and then the chat should be live for you.
Does it play the chat even though you paused it?
Pause what? Yeah, it should. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll leave it like as a separate tab because I don't really. I mean, I'm already here and I can already see it, so I don't necessarily need to be in the chat, to be honest, unless there's something really important.
New York for the B&H event. Logan, if I show up, come say hello. Come say howdy. What up, what up, what up?
Brendan March.
What's going on?
How excited for the May cam? Well, the cam's right here, so
yeah.
Cam's right here. I don't know what you guys are talking about. He's already inside of he's already in the cut.
For me, you should be very excited.
Yeah, for Cam, it should be excited. What month's your birthday in?
August.
Oh, okay. So like I was gonna say.
Yeah.
May the 4th.
Hey Jason, go work on them legs, bro.
No, you know what? I will give it to Jason. I will give Jason his flowers. He was training legs when we were at the gym. We actually did train like most of the week.
Or...
Nah, he was doing lunges with like 60s on each side, walking lunges up and down the turf, and I was like, all right, Jason, I see you.
Well, he needs to.
Jason ain't playing around.
You need to do more.
I don't know what you need to do to make them legs bigger, but I could definitely attest to the fact that Jason does train legs. I did see him do it. Chest air day.
Jason, that's been me.
Jason's going to be the first person in the filmmaking niche to get his IFBB Pro card while still making content.
That's going to be pretty wild. Jason,
Lumix de Mayo is a crazy name.
I hope you're documenting your competition and everything that you're doing. I think that would be pretty cool. I've been trying to push Kofi and Terry to make some fitness content for filmmakers and photographers because most of
what's really hard to do that is when
out of shape and unhappy because of it.
You know what's really hard when you're doing that is when you leave the country every other week for a week straight, every single time, and then come back home to brand deal deadlines.
My Ecamm Live account says we have 16 minutes left on the interview trial time. I swear
that doesn't make any sense. Setup. I mean, do you want to just buy the Pro setup now and then just get it out of the way?
Yeah, let me see. I thought I already had that.
Unless you're not logged in.
No. Oh, yeah, I don't have it. Are you paying full or did you shill out for that?
No, I paid full. I didn't even get an affiliate link till like maybe an hour ago.
Oh yeah. You know who just sent me one too. Okay, I just upgraded.
Yeah.
Damn you, Ecamm. You're too
Hey,
good.
you know what? The money you're gonna make back on Ecamm, you'll get it back. It's not a big deal. Also, what lens is that? What focal length is that? Because I want it. Is that the 35?
I like that. Look at Kofi setting this up. So
I'm dead serious.
Both of us are on the Blackmagic Pixis. I'm streaming directly via USB-C into my MacBook. It's a dope setup. Let me go full screen on mine real quick. So this is the setup. This is the Blackmagic Pixis with the Blazar Mantis 35 millimeter. We're wide open as well. You can see I look a little bit thinner than usual. I look like one of Jason's legs right now. You guys will see in my official launch video what's going on with that. We've been talking with Ecamm, and hopefully Ecamm could bring some anamorphic support. I would love if they gave us options, but also a custom mode to where you could input your own de-stretch. So let's hope we get that. But let's look at Kofi's setup here, full screen. And what are you shooting on? I don't know what lens you're on either.
So I'm still on the Blackmagic Pixis. My Blazar lenses are inside of my luggage. I haven't unpacked it. Like, I just got back from Houston like 4 hours, not even 4 hours ago. But I'm actually going to use the 18 millimeter. And if you notice that even though there's a key light, my skin tones look magnificently melanated. I have the Short Stash Everyday filter, the 67 mil on that 18 mil on the Pixis.
Yeah. If you guys haven't seen it, Kofi did a video. I think he put it out, right? On the Short Stash filter.
Underrated. Completely underrated.
So I'm pretty sure I watched that one. I didn't recall if you
it was like in January. It was a while ago.
You posted it. Yeah.
It was a while ago, but like underrated filter, man. I think I have one in every filter size from 52 to 82.
Yeah. I got some 82s. I think I got some 77s or 72s for my Hasselblad lenses, and then some smaller ones too. So they really are that. It's the Short Stash filter is glued to my Q343, my Leica.
Yeah, I got mine on my GFX 50R.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've actually taken the filter off since I got it. Actually, now I think about it. And my ZF. Also, I have it on my Nikon.
You guys can see, since we're using totally different LUTs, but still the Pixis, and you can see our feet's they're kind of matching up pretty well, which is dope to see.
Yeah, I would need to put if I put like a little bit of light, or maybe like the sun actually came out of the background, and maybe a light over here, and like maybe a lamp like right in the corner, like or right down over there.
A Kamaki Zhiyun X100.
So mine's in it's in my suitcase. I used it in Houston. I have not taken anything out of my suitcase. My bag is right there. It's opened, and I think I opened it strictly to take my microphone out, and then my carry-on is open on the kitchen table.
Hang on. It looks like my audio's low. Guys, how different is my audio from Kofi's? I'm trying to figure out how.
Apparently mine's fine.
Mine says 100%. May I just turn yours down? Let's try that. Kofi, go ahead and talk at the same time as me.
Yo. Sorry, I burped.
Oh, nice. That was a good burp. All right, guys, how did that sound? Do we sound a little more balanced now? Let me know.
Hopefully it sounds better. Also, have you guys know that I am wearing my my Sony Kondo robe. Well, if you know, you know. Get with the program.
With that, let's talk about this Lumix S1RII overheating drama. Let me, 1 second here. Let me make sure. Okay. So we'll go over this S1RII stuff, guys. This is another random stream. We got 52 people watching.
Damn.
Everybody thumb up the stream here. That's not bad for around 6 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah. It's okay. All right. Yeah. I thought it was Sunday.
Sounds like you've been having fun. Guys, Kofi, Terry, and I, we are planning to do more joined streams, and we're probably just going to be doing them randomly because, when you live the shill life, you it's hard to have a schedule. So
duty calls when you're a shill.
Oh, yeah. So speaking of being a shill, the overheating on the Lumix S1RII, I just started to have the overheating stuff myself, which I find funny because there's some people saying, oh, do these YouTubers, are they lying and covering up the overheating? Anybody with a brain who's not a dipshit would realize, oh, they were in Norway. It's been winter. It's starting to warm up. So I don't know about other people. For me, it overheated on me last week before I went on a trip that some people might know about. And it was sitting in the sun. The temp on my phone said it was like 75 degrees. It felt hotter than that though. I was like kind of sweating pretty bad myself. So I'll just say it was 80 degrees in the sun. I started to overheat. overheated on me like 2 or 3 times while I was trying to film a talking head setup, which is a big no. Like if a camera's doing that, that's a problem. I was using Angel Bird cards though. And what's interesting is I've been using this camera in Palm Springs and Joshua Tree on 90-degree days Fahrenheit, and no overheating, not even a symbol. So all of a sudden, it's starting to happen. Today I was filming, I was doing some stuff. You guys will see later down the road. And I made sure to put the SanDisk card in it this time. I even let it run just to see what it would do. And there was zero overheating. So it could be a card issue. I have zero freaking clue. I don't know what's going on with it.
We actually got a little bit of insight in terms of the cards and the overheating. So mine overheated once, and that was my own fault. And any camera would overheat in the situation. So my Maui video, the very, very, very last shot that I had my Pelican case inside of the trunk, and I suction cup mounted it to the Pelican case, and then I had like the kind of like shoot from the back seat through the front windshield.
Yeah.
I'm in Maui. I think it was like high 90s or close to 100 degrees outside. I was shooting at 8.1K, and it was shooting for about 20, 30 minutes with the doors closed. So there's no heat, like there's no ventilation, and the car was off. So I'm like, okay, if that would overheat an FX6. And I recorded it, and I think that's the only time that's actually ever happened.
Yeah. And that's hard because it's like, when something like that happens, it's like, do I talk about this? Because this was kind of my fault. I wasn't, in a car turned off, 90-degree, humid weather. Like, most cameras are going to overheat. Most cameras are going to overheat really quick, honestly. So that's the hard part when we're like tube douchers is, if we do run into something and it's a one-off, it's like, do we talk about this? Do we share it? And a lot of times when stuff like that happens to me, 5 minutes later, I forget that it ever happened until the conversation comes up. Then I'm like, oh, wait, on second thought, yeah. But yeah.
You also kind of gauge when that does happen. You're like, well, am I making a video being like, I'm an idiot? It's like, cool. I'm an idiot. I don't know. Yeah. It's like if I dropped the camera and then reported that its durability wasn't good. I'm like, well, yeah, you dropped it. What do you did that. That wasn't. And also, to be fair, if you guys don't know, if you want to find overheating numbers, and I mean this might just be the S1RII, is the manual that tells you the overheating is downloadable. You could download the user manual. It tells you exactly how much, or gives you like, I think it's 6K, 8K, and 4K in terms of what the overheating numbers are. I'm pretty sure that's in a user's manual.
Yeah, it's just weird because I have used it in really hot environments with zero overheating. Someone asked, overheat in 4K or more. So when it overheated on me, I was in like the top, one of the top resolutions, which is like was it like 6.4K in open gate or something like that? And it's down south. It's still utilizing the 8K resolution, and it's upscaling or downsampling, wherever the hell they call it. And so it overheated me on that mode. Kobe said he was in 8K for it when it overheated. So
8.1, and I think I have it on my phone. I think the only reason I didn't post it is because I shot it in Apple Log and then didn't convert it. But yeah, it's just chilling on my phone, and yeah, that's definitely happened near the end.
Yeah, I mean, I think what happened with this release, obviously when it comes to Lumix releases, people are like just getting their pitchforks ready. It's very strange. When in reality, Lumix is doing stuff that no one else is doing. Lumix is like the only company. I'm not shilling for them right now, guys. I know it sounds like I am, but they're literally the only company giving us all the features that we are screaming other companies to do. They're doing it. So I don't know why they get so much backlash. Maybe it's just us as YouTubers that people just hate, and we're, doing press trips stuff. I don't know.
I think maybe it's also because I think a lot of the things that other companies like Lumix and Nikon are doing, you wanted from Sony and didn't get it. And then it's kind of like I guess it's kind of that toxic relationship where you're like, oh, like maybe it'll change, or maybe it'll adopt some of the other things from the other brand, and then it doesn't, and then it continues to not do it. And then when you see creators at because we all had Sony before, like we were all pretty deep in the Sony ecosystem, and now that we've kind of spread the love a little bit, now you're starting to see the brand that I've kind of planted my flag on isn't necessarily innovating the way I want them to or as often. Yeah. But then B, and this kind of goes in the parasocial aspects of things, right? Like the creators that sold me the camera, quote unquote, are also not talking about it as much. So now there's this feeling of like, I guess I'm abandoned, but also getting shortchanged. So my next reaction is, well, I may as well yell at these people and start name calling.
Yeah. And it's weird because it's like when we do these release videos, we're not like, obviously, we're aware of our core audiences. And I know a lot of people, including myself, when we're making videos, we are like, oh, I know my audience would probably love to hear about this and that. So let me cover this. Even if I don't really care about it, I know my audience does. And again, this is our core audience. Like for instance, you guys in this chat right now, you guys are our core audience, and we are beyond grateful, for you guys to be part of the family here. It's not fans or anything like that. And so, we think about that, but outside of that, we're not saying like, oh, let me cover every fucking detail of this camera that is known to mankind. Like that's, you guys got to remember, we're human beings. We all have different lifestyles and things we like to film. And we're just trying to add our perspective and opinion to the conversation, to these releases. That's all it is. And so this whole weird, we got to hold creators accountable now, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, guys, we're literally just like you, except our faces are online, getting early access to some stuff. It's in reality, sometimes it's exciting, but it's very exhausting. I'm not complaining about the trips. They're super cool to go on. But honestly, if they were just like, hey, we're not going to do a trip, but we're going to send this out for you to try out, I'd be like, that's sick. I'm okay with that. So, it's just
sometimes I prefer it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes I'd be okay with, I would be okay if they did it backwards. Like they sent us the cameras first and we did the trip second.
Yeah.
I think I actually would kind of be into that. I actually would be really into that if they're like, hey, here it is for like a week. And then like, kind of like, I wish they did this for everybody, but there's just too many people. But the condo, was it 2023 when the A7C2 came out? That was kind of cool. Like that was kind of cool for anybody that was on the embargo, because they got to have the camera beforehand. So when it came to condo, it could be a little bit more chill. Yeah, that'd be kind of a cool idea to do. But also, to the same part with going back to what you said about kind of talking about things that are important to you. For me personally, like the fun gets sucked out of this job when I feel like I have to be a soundboard of what somebody else said. So I'm like, I don't have a dynamic range chart. My dynamic range litmus test is, can I shoot with my dark ass skin in the fucking room and see out the window? And if I can see out the window, cool. It has enough dynamic range, moving on. Or like rolling shutter numbers, I'm like, I can't tell the difference between 17 and 19.5. I have no idea. Yeah. But like, does it look off-putting enough that I'm distracted? No? Cool. Moving, like, you know what I mean? Those stuff are things where I'm like, you already saw the video that gives you all the minutia numbers. I don't necessarily need to repeat them for you. You can just watch that video, because I'm going to do the same test in the same way and then say the same thing all over again. And then we've added nothing to the conversation, right? I think the interesting part about like these videos, which was really cool, especially because what's cool with like doing some of these trips is sometimes we have a buffer time, is you get to see everybody's style come out. Yeah. And that's what I'll watch videos because I want to see Cam running around in the desert shooting anamorphic. I want to see Julia Trotti going and doing portrait sessions. I want to see Manny doing in-studio work. I want to see Terry on his motorcycle. Like I want to see all those things around a common topic, because cameras are so good. I'm just in it for the personalities and the people that are making the stuff rather than the thing.
Yeah, it's just I tried to change my exposure while I wasn't on camera, and it didn't pan out.
It is what it is.
I thought I was being Brandon Washington, being all smooth. Yeah, I don't know. It's all very weird. But circling back to the overheating, so far from my vague testing I've done, it seems like the CF Express B cards, which I forgot what camera I had that had, it might have been a Canon. Canon uses CF Express B, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that was the first time I tried CF Express B, and those suckers get hot. They get extremely hot. And I remember thinking, I'm like, how are these cameras like having these cards inside of there? So this is the card that Lumix gave us on our Norway trip here.
Oh shoot, you still have yours. I don't know where mine is.
So all those times I was filming like on Palm Springs and stuff and Joshua Tree, this is the card I was using, and I didn't have any overheating. When I started to get the overheating issues, I was using Angel Bird cards, which is interesting because we all know that Angel Bird's like one of the goats when it comes to these cards. So I don't know how much we're allowed to disclose, but with all these brands, they have to clear these card manufacturers, I guess, to make sure they're working precisely how they're supposed to be. I don't think Angel Bird's on that list yet. Hopefully they will be in the future. I don't know.
That happened with the CF Express Type A cards, didn't it? I don't think it caused overheating because I had the very first version of the 1 TB cards, but I think there was something like that where they had to pass some sort of certification. They didn't have it at first, and then they had to re-release cards, and they pulled those ones back too because something else happened, and they re-released another side. Like I have them right here. Here's these guys. These are like the third version of them, and I think at the time it wasn't. They needed some sort of approval process from Sony at the time, but I use them on my Pixis all the time.
Tell me why that CF Express A card looked like a micro SD in your hand.
Let me just put this up here. Hang on a second. Let me see if I could. Let me see if I could actually like get this in focus.
Yeah, that's dumb.
that's my hand scale to the CF Express Type A card.
I wish I had a CF Express A on me right now. I might have one nearby. I don't.
So if anyone ever hears me complain about like camera grips and stuff, that's why, is because like this is like this is how big my hand is.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like here. This is a
wait. Okay, guys. Here's a CF Express A in my hand. Looks kind of normal sized.
Yeah, in a second. Let me just do that. Let me just do that to scale. Yeah, so I'm gonna do this, and then yeah, 1 second. Let me just do this. This is hilarious.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, that's dumb. Now everybody's gonna be like, is Cam incredibly small?
It's a combination of both. Also, this robe's getting really warm.
I'm a small dude in real
robe.
life, guys.
Thomas hit the nail on the head. No wonder I like the GFX 50R because it looks like a normal camera in my hand.
Yeah.
Even the ZF looks like a small child. The ZF in my hand looks like the Fuji X100 and everybody else's.
That's pretty accurate, guys. We'll circle back on the overheating, but shout out to Vu. If you guys don't know who Vu is, go watch his. Go check out his channel. He makes. We were just saying.
Let me show you.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, but Vu went from like being one of the biggest haters of creators, and now he's kind of like one of us, which is amazing. What's funny though is when Vu's videos started to come out, we were all sharing them with each other, laughing because they were hilarious. They were freaking incredibly funny.
Here's the thing: if you're gonna be a hater, be a good hater. Like if
Vu.
you're gonna if that's the role you want to take, like if you take the heel, you got to be good at it because you can't like if you're a bad hater, then you're just annoying. Because I'm like, oh, you're if you're a bad hater, you're just whining. But like if you're a good hater, it's funny, and I know that I can make jokes with you because I like good haters. Also, at the end of the day, like don't actually despise you. They're just poking fun at things.
Yeah.
Bad haters are like have like a secret, deep-seated hatred and like low-key insecurity about certain things, and they're just taking it out on you. They're two very different people.
Yeah, Vu was just being really entertaining with it, and there's some truths to it too, obviously. But yeah, anyways, he's my 100-watt light. Vu did a really cool, honest review of it, and I'm actually lighting myself with it right now. I'll go over that later. Let's go through some comments first. I believe
you also did a couple of reels on my suction mount, so thank you for that. You had like 2 in one day, which is wild.
Yeah, Vu's with the support. And Vu, I love that how you can still support us while still being honest, still being yourself. Just like that's what we're all trying to do. We're all just trying to be honest because we get it, guys. Again, go back to the overheating shit real quick. None of us are going to take the chance to hide anything or to lie about anything because obviously if anybody gets caught in it, they're done. Their channel's over with. Everybody's going to know you can't trust them anymore. So no one's ever trying to do that.
It's so easy to get jammed up that it's not worth it. Like,
yep.
Also, when there's 70 reviews out at the same day, like you'd have to basically cooperate with like 69 other people to be like, hey, like just don't talk about that. Like
And
you'd have to do that.
To think we're all that we're all communicating like that, and we're all like half of us have ADHD and we're freaking a shit show at home. Like there's no way like there's gonna
Half
be
of
any
us don't even really
conspiracy.
talk to each other like that. I just
Yeah.
like I don't know if I want to unveil the curtain. Like there are people that I see at like these press events, and there's people that I talk to every day, and then there's people that I only see at press events, and there's people that go to the press events that I go to, and I've never spoken to them. And
Yeah.
like it won't be till like the fourth one where I'm like, oh shoot, like what is your name? This is the fifth time I've seen you.
Yep. It's hard. Obviously, Kofi and I are some of the new cats on the block here, but it's like there's so many people at the, like I would say maybe 80% of the people I don't know what their channels are, because you know just because we're on YouTube doesn't mean we're watching YouTube. I honestly watch a lot of political stuff. I watch a lot of F1 stuff. I watch a lot of off-roading stuff. I'm watching a lot of stuff that's not camera stuff. If I am watching camera stuff, it's literally just for some noise in the background while I eat, you know, and I'm not really digesting it to fully. Here's a good question right here. What do you think of Pixel 12K, best option under 10K? I haven't tried it yet. I believe Kofi tried the 17K or 12K. I'm really excited to try it. I'm getting a weird call. I'm really excited to try it, and I want to get my hands on it because that new sensor technology kind of looks like what we kind of been needing for some of our shoots here. So, yeah, I'm excited. I don't know, Kofi, have you tried that yet?
I've tried the sensor. I haven't tried the Pixis 12K. Like I have a Pixis and I've used the Ursa 12K. In fact, there might be one situation where tariffs benefit me and I might get to keep one.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a funny story. It's not under NDA. It's just a fun story. But anyways, yeah, no, I've tried the Ursa 12K. It's different, man. And it has more like that for there's rare times where I will notice dynamic range differences from one camera to the other. There's definitely a gigantic difference between one and the other. I think that sensor particularly has, I think the second or the third highest dynamic range next to the Alexa. I think it's second.
Ooh. I didn't know.
Exposes darker skin tones really well.
Wait,
your shadow recovery.
Wait. You talking about the 12K or the 17K?
12K.
Oh,
12K and the 7. I think the 17K is just 12. Like I think it's two 12Ks put together or something like that.
Oh,
it's the same RGWW. I don't know if it is. I'm not sure. I might not be completely 100% on that one, but I'm pretty sure the RGB sensor is on the 17K as well. But the 12K, I would say is probably the most exciting camera to be, like the most excited I think I will be for a cinema camera. And once that thing gets autofocus, that's where we're gonna have a lot of fun when it gets autofocus.
Yeah. The question is it gonna be good autofocus? Everything I've seen so far.
Have you tried the full frame 6K?
I have it. It's been sitting on the floor over here against a wall for a couple months because I've been using the.
And you haven't tried it?
No, haven't had time, bro. You know.
I would give it a try, man. Okay, so here's my take on the full frame 6K autofocus is two things. One, it's way farther ahead in its autofocusing beta than the Komodo when it first came out with its autofocus. Ooh, okay. And two, having that said, it's too good to be the first version of it. Like it's really, really good for the first beta version of that autofocus. It's too good to be the first version.
Damn. Okay. All right. Maybe I'll try it if I find time. But anyways,
I know you got some mount lenses.
Yeah. If it does work, well, that'll be pretty exciting. I did. Red loaned me the Red Raptor X Z mount, and I did put. I put the Blazar. Hey, I'm trying to make sure I don't run on my dog's foot. Okay. I did put the Blazar Apex. Should I put the DJI LiDAR on here? I did put the Blazar Apex on that Red Raptor X Z mount. I am shocked that it worked really well. It's not perfect. It's not Sony. But when you turn on the face tracking, works great. And then when you remove the face and you go to object, it's just like continuous. I don't think it does like object tracking. So you can't like tap and swipe and all that kind of stuff. But I used it on day one of that mini doc I did, and it did just fine. Like I want to use it for the whole shoot, but I was like, I need to put the Kato's on here because that's what I brought to use, and I need all the focal lengths for different shots. And so I was like, I need to put this aside. I know this is exciting, but
I gotta stop playing with it. Yeah. I will say, I would put the Blackmagic autofocus very close to where that red autofocus is right now.
Ooh.
I would put it. So its face tracking is really, really good. And I think Jarrell's in the chat too, because he was with me and Brandon when we tried it. And if I could autofocus in a crowd full of people, if I could face track on a dark skin tone at NAB, like Jarrell walked into the crowd and it was keeping up pretty decent. I'm like, oh, okay. First of all, I checked off 2 boxes: 1, in a crowd, and 2, my litmus test for autofocusing test is whether or not it can work on darker skinned people, because usually autofocusing systems, that's where it struggles.
Yeah. How does LiDAR work?
I haven't tried that. I haven't tried that yet.
Oh. Yeah. Anyways, well, I guess I'll have to try it. Hopefully they bring it to. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if they brought it to the Pixis 12K first before the 6K. But hopefully they just release it. Yeah. Hopefully it's all at the same time.
Yeah. I talked to Darren about it, and he said that they're going to be at the same time.
Did they give you a date that you're allowed to talk about?
No. So basically what they wanted to do, and like, I think they had there's 2 things. One, the only reason why it's not on the Pixis now is because they were making the Pixis 12K. They didn't have enough resources to split the team making the autofocus and then making the second Pixis. So we would have had Pixis 6K autofocus around NAB had we not made a Pixis 12K. Obviously, one's a little bit cooler than the other. The second one is they put it on the full frame intentionally because what they wanted to do is they wanted to make sure that it worked in like the lowest friction environment, which would be the 6K full frame, because it's shaped like a mirrorless camera. Yeah. So they're like, yeah, let's let everybody work out the kinks on that part first before we start carrying it over, because we're going to carry it over to the Pixis and the Ursa. Like it has to be good. Yeah. And there's probably way more of those units out there too to be beta tested. So absolutely.
Well, that's going to be exciting. Half the price last year. Yeah. I'm really excited to get my hands on that Pixis 12K though. And seeing what that sensor does. And I think it's a faster readout too, which is always nice. Yeah, specifically, I like that stuff. When rolling shutter matters to me is when I'm doing 2x anamorphic, and when I'm doing hardcore run and gun stuff, that's high stakes. High stakes meaning the project could go really far, as in terms of creating more opportunities, or to sell it to broadcasters or anything like that. Or if it's for like a client that, you know, I'm getting paid $30,000 for like a 2-week job, like that's where I'm like, okay, I should probably find a camera that doesn't have bad rolling shutter. But I think a lot of people that bitch about rolling shutter are people, it's like, I know majority of my stuff outside of what I just talked about, rolling shutter doesn't affect it. So if it doesn't affect me, I'm assuming for some of you guys, it's not going to affect as much as you guys are screaming about. So anyways, we'll save that for another broadcast, but
if they're working on your type of jobs, they're probably not looking for that in a mirrorless camera to begin with.
Yeah, that's a good statement there. Let's go back to our chat here before I go on to my light. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, it's weird how much people put a lot of pressure on Lumix, which, you know, Kofi and I, we talked to the Lumix team. They're totally fine. You know, reality, sales number says different than what the very loud, small majority, or minority, I should say, says when they're being bored and just trying to be part of a conversation. I think that's what it mostly is.
The low key sales numbers of that S9 after that whole debacle. If you think that camera didn't do well,
yep,
you're gonna be real upset. You'll be real upset if they ever release those numbers to people, to the public.
It's crazy because we're drowning in all these new cameras and stuff, and the S9 still, you know, I still look at them like, I wish, you know, I just want the S9 because it's so, especially for content creation, because it just stays out of your way. It's really fluid to use. I don't need all the bells and whistles. There's, I know, I think Terry just said it's in the video. I think it was Terry. And I've said it in the past as well, but there's something about really small form factors. Oh no, it wasn't Terry. It was, it was Brandon Talbot, the homie Brandon. There's something about small form factor but robust gear that excites me to the point of wanting to use it, to the point of wanting
Yeah.
to create. And the S9 is like one of those things where it's just like, it's really fluid and easy and concise to use. And so it stays out of the way of my creativity. I think that's what I'm trying to say here.
I keep you know me whenever we go on trips, everyone takes their cameras out their bag, and I got that little red S9 with the little friggin' kit lens and
Yeah.
the ND filter on it.
I feel like the
Throw
most
that in a
camera
little.
I've seen in the past year is the DJI Pocket 3. That's number one.
Yep.
The S9, and then the FX3 or FX30, and then maybe
FX30,
like the
100%.
S5 IIX. I feel like I don't see Nikon as much out there yet. They're Nikon's
Weird
crushing
take.
it.
Weird take. The amount of people that have S5 IIXs that don't consume camera content just like around actually low key is way more than I thought it was. Like I think I sent you the thing on Threads where Christian Guzman, I don't think you know him, but he owns the clothing brand Alpha Elite. He owns a gym in Houston. He owns a gigantic energy drink company, and they're shooting like a relaunch of their brand. And I'm like, oh, let me just see what cameras they're on. And I commented, I'm like, hey, you should be using Kofi cups instead of whatever that crap you got on your car hood. Zoomed in, guys on an S5 IIX, a Blazar Remus 100mm, and a Mofaj Poco adapter. And the first thing I thought about is I'm like, these guys are watching.
Yeah.
You guys have like they're not in camera YouTube. They run the media team for an athleisure company, and even at that level, they're like, hey, if it's good, it's good.
Yeah, and that's what's funny is like all these bored tech heads who obviously want friends, so they're just, and it's not.
I'll be
Guys, we're
I'll
not
be the friend.
saying.
Just don't be a weirdo.
Well, we're not saying that we don't like hearing negative, constructive criticism. Like if another adult comes up to me and they say something negative, but they genuinely meant it, and it was like a genuine like, hey, you should do this better kind of thing, then we take that and we're like, oh, cool. I will try to remember that. You're right. And if they're wrong, we'll just be like, oh, this is why this and that. But when it's just like just negative hate, that's mostly what it is. Like no. It's out the window. And the truth is, as we're talking right now, we sometimes get a peek into sales numbers, or other times it's just we see what's out there when we're out in the world. And let me tell you, the shit that people are hating on, people are buying. So I'm like, make that make sense to the haters.
Doc Rock actually makes a good call. Good call. In Japan, you'll see so many S9s in every color. And to be fair, the like international markets consume cameras way different than we do.
Yeah.
Like I think when you're coming from, I guess it's the Eastern Hemisphere, the Eastern world. I think the way that they think that we use mirrorless cameras is mostly for like YouTube and vlogging and all the other stuff. And then they see these guys in North America strapping it onto camera rigs, shooting documentaries and commercial with it, and they're like, "Wait, what? That's what you use it for?"
Yeah, like
Damn,
that's
okay.
all it takes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
like,
we got Sony in the chat. I keep getting comments like this, people saying, "Oh, you're calling too much attention to like the shilling, blah blah blah." You guys have to understand. If you guys don't like this, go in the comments and you go and tell the hater people or smaller creators even who are stirring up false narratives. We have a duty to stand up for ourselves and stand up for what's the reality and the truth. And that's all we're doing. At the same time, we're having fun with it because all the hating bullshit, it's funny to us. So I know it gets annoying sometimes, but hey, again, if you don't like it, then, you could help be part of the solution and engage into some of these comments maybe, or some of these haters and, try to say your word and be like, hey, you got it wrong, blah, blah, blah. That's not your job. But I'm saying if you're getting that annoyed by it, I'm sorry. But that's just the world that we're dealing with right now. People are very polarized across the world from multiple things. And I think it's seeding into our community here a little bit. On top of that, I think people are lonely. I think people are a little bit lost, identity crisis. There's a whole bunch of like mental health shit going on right now, I think. And obviously we put our faces on the internet and people forget that we're human beings. And so we get to see a lot of it. And so I apologize if it's annoying, but it is what it is. Like there's nothing, if we ignore it, it will just build.
Uncle Kofi just wants to say he hopes you have a good day. Because if you have a good day, you do not come to Uncle Kofi or Uncle Cam's video, Wafa Cam. You don't have to go to his videos and say, Ade. Cam is always talking anamorphic. He will not shoot a spherical lens. He must be paid by these blazer people. So maybe if you have a good day, you will not have to make my day bad. So that's all I'm going to say.
Wow. I didn't know you got so wise. It's like you become a different person, all that wisdom out of nowhere.
It's funny because my mom is now a permanent character of the channel since my Nikon ZF video. So she actually demanded to be in more videos.
That's rad. So I love that. You got to get her on camera.
Yeah, she said she's down as long as I give her enough notice. She's like, yeah, I'll come. I'll show up. Also, if we do go to Condo, I have a custom made kente for the first day.
Oh,
wrap a fucking round. I have the jewelry and everything. It's gonna actually, like, I'll have to change when I get there because I don't think I can bring that on the plane. But like, I got some custom made kente for
you should bring Connor one.
If he gives me measurements, I'm actually getting one for Ori.
Ooh.
Ori sent me his measurements. My aunt's like, yeah, we'll make it if he gives us measurements on time.
I bet Connor would do it.
Oh, I feel like if Connor would have to cut his hair a certain way, but I think it would look fire if he gets the right color.
I think he would end up looking.
Depends what style he gets.
I think he would end up looking like a cult leader, possibly.
No, he would look like those guys that built a school once, and they're making sure everybody else knows about it, though.
Yeah. Who is it that everybody says he looks like? Jared Leto. Yeah. And that fool looks like a freaking cult leader. Also, Doc Rock, I apologize. I'll get back to your DMs here. Also, we were talking about the anamorphic stuff on here, and as you can see, I'm not properly de-squeezed, so I think it'd be great if we just had a custom input that we could put in alongside options. Yeah. Anyways, you guys will find out in the future what we're talking about. Joral is in the chat. I don't know if he's still here. We all know he hates us, so
we got an Anthony Gugliotta also in the chat.
Ooh, Anthony's here. Yes.
I don't know how he's watching this. I thought he only sees in vertical.
Manage bursts do seem to get a little hotter than my SanDisk. Yeah, so maybe there's some heating issues with the CF Express Bs.
You know what? Yeah. Though? If you ever look at an Angel Bird card, the outside is like a metal, like a thin metal sheet.
Yeah, I mean, so is the SanDisk.
Is it?
Yeah,
I thought
it's
it was
all
paper.
metal.
I thought like the end. No, but like that sticker doesn't do anything. I'm guessing. I don't know. I thought that was just. I thought the design of it might have made it a little bit hotter. But
no, I think it's just a sticker.
I flipped my monitor sideways.
Yeah, Logan. Again, this is the Blazar Mantis 35 millimeter. Let me grab a flashlight real quick so I can show you guys these flares here. Kofi, entertain them while I go grab this.
Yeah, I'm good. You know what? I could also just read some of the chat too. Doc, what is a Doc pop? Is that a microphone pop filter? Because if I could be hooked up. I mean, if you send something to Canada from the United States, it doesn't we don't get tariffed that much. It's only a little 10%. Won't hurt nobody.
All right, I'm back. You guys ready to see some anamorphic shield flares? So again, Blazar Mantis 35 millimeter on the Blackmagic Pixis, and there we go. I do have the Mofos.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, they're subtle, which I love.
Oh, but hang on, look at that oval though. Look at that oval. No, get back in the middle again. Oh, hang on 1 second. Go back like to the edge, right where the microphone is. A little more of the microphone. No, other way. Even that way.
Should do on both sides.
Come back in. Yeah, look at that oval though. It cleans up right in the middle, but look at that on the edge.
So I also have the Mofage Poco Rare VND, which does cause more of those diagonal flares. I don't know if you guys can see that. Wait, I'm doing the wrong way. That flare right there. I do believe that's the Mofage Poco. I could be wrong. Because, the rear VNDs are adding glass, and it does, it can distort sharpness and stuff. But those are the flares. They're neutral flares as well. So whatever color your light source is, that's what it's going to do. And I'm really excited for these because you guys could see, just as Logan said, the fall off on it is gorgeous. We're getting 2x bokeh with 1.33x-ish D-stretch. And yeah, that's our setup there.
I got to try it. I get some side-by-sides with the Remus, the Mantis, and the Kato. I think I put it in the group chat. We could it'll be seen at a later date. Also someone I think Jason Chavez, keep it 5 stacks. You finna keep the S1R2 or nah, shoddy? I'm keeping mine. It'd be really hard to.
Wait, I'm looking for it.
It's like one of the recent comments. He was asking if we're actually going to keep the S1R2 or chuck it later on. Mine's staying in the house.
Wait, where's it at?
It is just before Edmund. Cam, I read into you at NAB and told you to keep up the good work. I've been in digital media for 25 years. Oh, man. Been in digital for 25 years, and I've learned that haters can be your biggest fan. You guys keep up the great work. Edmund has been a supporter of at least my channel since like day one. Toronto guy, so really cool dude, really dope guy. I haven't seen him in a while though.
I still can't find the damn S1R2 comment.
Well, essentially they're asking if you're actually keeping it or are you getting rid of it.
Now it's bugging me. Oh, here it is. I'm 1000% fucking keeping that thing. That thing. Again, you guys know I do a lot of the stuff with the DJI Ronin 4D 8K. This is the same sensor in the S1R2. And you can see it, the image quality, the way that the colors separate but roll off into each other, the way that skin tones really separate from the rest of the scene. It's absolutely gorgeous. But specifically for stills photography, I wasn't expecting for me, because I never looked at Lumix as a stills brand. And so I never shot a damn photo with the Lumix camera really ever. So I used it on a pro shoot in Wyoming. It was a commercial shoot. It's going to be in magazines. It's going to be in some like boot barn campaigns. It's going to be like some album covers. Like we're covering a lot of bases there. Holy shit. The S1R2 for stills. It reminds me of the Canon R5 without all the annoyances that the Canon has. And the way the files edit, again, reminds me of Canon colors. So I am really loving that damn camera. I'm keeping that sucker. I keep most of my things, honestly.
Yeah. You know what's wild? I feel like I sell more of my Sony camera gear than I do any other brand.
Yeah.
Because if I get any other brand, I'm like, there's a reason. When I get Sony cameras, like, I'll get like my Sony cameras are always the like just in case, and I'll just make up random reasons as to why I want to get an FX3 for the third time.
Yeah.
But then if I like when I keep the S9, I'm like, there's a specific reason for that. Yeah. And there's a specific reason for the Blackmagic where it makes it less likely that I'll sell it. But
I mean, the Sonys just work. Up until just a few months ago, the Sonys were my workhorse for commercial work. The S1R2 changed that a lot. The Z8 and Z6 III changed that a lot. Like everything coming out, it's kind of surpassing what Sony has right now. So I hope if whatever Sony's coming out with, if they even come out with anything this year, I really hope they got some heat coming.
It's Sony's year to. I hate calling it wins and loses because it shouldn't be considered that, but like it's their game to lose. Also, to be fair, when you think about it, with all these new releases, like the amount of people that'll actually like transfer over, that's not like overnight. Yeah. Like the S1R2 came out. It's not like everybody and their mom started throwing out their A7R5 and started buying S1R2s, right? Like that transitions like 2-ish years, maybe more.
You got some love in the chat. I put it up on the screen for you.
I don't see anything. What does it say? I can't see the chat screen.
It's by Marine X. He said, "What up, Kofi? Because of you and Warfield, I learned how to expose for brown skin using 40% zebras +9 and Cine EI and fixing exposure in post with draw mask. Thanks." I don't know what draw mask.
I'm just happy that content found the people that it need to find. Some of those videos don't get the most views, but it finds who needs to find it.
Yeah, and this might be shocking to some of you guys. We don't make content for everybody. We make content for our people. We know who our people are, and they respect us, and we respect them. So
it's a fun video idea exactly about that coming soon.
Doc Rock said it best. Bro, you can't get 5 people to pick a freaking pizza joint. Folks tripping. It's all cahoots. Yep. Super Shills. Do you have any way option to use? I haven't tried to use an SSD with the camera since I had the Blackmagic Cinema Camera 4K, Pocket 4K. And so, yeah.
That's something I'm gonna try out because I have a blank SSD, and I'm like, I actually never tried it on a Lumix camera, and I haven't, like you said, I haven't used it since the Blackmagic Pocket 4K. So I might give that a shot. I have no idea what's
Yeah.
gonna happen, but I think that's actually a really good idea.
Here's a question from Indigo and Iron. How do you remove
Mm.
friction from your workflow? What do you do to make things easier? Kofi, I'll let you answer that first because I got to feed my dog. She's circling me like a shark right now. So while you
Yeah.
answer that, I'm going to go feed her.
So I actually got into ChatGPT, oddly enough, and I mean Cam can't chime into this one right now. But what I've started to do with ChatGPT is I'll like talk through videos to ask ChatGPT what they know, and then start designing a script in terms of order of importance. So, for example, like I am doing a video on the Action 5 versus the Osmo Pocket 3. And what I did was I'm like, hey, ChatGPT, like, and I started just asking it questions to figure out what it knows. And then I put all the information there. And I'm like, hey, based on what you see, can you order it in order of importance to people? And then that's how I'll structure a video. So that kind of removes friction because that way you're not scrambling for what to say. But things like having stuff written down or like realistically having the same place that you shoot every day, or if you're someone that likes to like shoot when you're outside, like have a couple locations you like shooting all the time, it's so much easier to just to like, oh, I mean, no, I'm gonna drive to like the shooting spot I always go to. And I think me and Cam were talking about this before, but like how I don't like shooting at the same place more than once and like two videos back to back. But realistically, the audience doesn't care. As long as you deliver the content, like they kind of don't care the container that it's in, as long as the container makes sense for what you're teaching.
Yeah, I heard what Kofi was saying about Chat GPT. I've been utilizing that a lot. And I'm not going to it for per se answers. It's more so to stir up more ideas. So I learned the more human you treat it, as if you're just having a conversation with a fellow human, the better your results are. It's not just about, have it doing your homework for you. It's more so, it's just like songwriting. I love writing by myself when it comes to music, but having a co-writer with you, anytime you hit a little hurdle and you're starting to like slow down and you're just getting stuck, having a co-writer there kind of really helps you get over that hurdle. So that's basically how I've been using ChatGPT. On top of that, kind of what Kofi was saying, I I operate a little bit different. For instance, Mr. Connor McCaskill moved into my spare room in my house over here, and the first time we filmed together, he was just like, "I can't do this," because I take literally a truckload of gear, and I will film up to 3 to 5 videos at once, and it's not 0 to 100 filming. I'm filming separate segments as I'm just out off-roading and just going on adventures and stuff. I'm trying to get just random segments as I'm going. And then over a few weeks of doing that, I start piecing together my edits. It's really chaotic, but that's just how my ADHD brain works. But to remove the friction, I guess to me, it's more going with the flow of my mental health regarding my ADHD. I try not to fight it, because if I fight it, I go into a spiral of just like not hating myself, but just, kind of being miserable and feeling a little bit defeated. So I just try my best to go with the flow. The biggest friction I'm running into is edits. I'm trying to find an editor who loves editing and can do my style. That's been really difficult. If I could find an editor, I would. And every time I talk about this, I get literally dozens of emails of people wanting to edit. And, it's hard to even keep up with all that. But if I could find an editor that like can really mimic my style, oh my God, I'd probably be doing like 2 to 3 videos a week easily.
So here's my challenge
I'd be
for you,
pulling
because
Kofi numbers.
here's my challenge for you, because I'm also like, I'm gonna like, my girlfriend's training how to edit some of my vertical content and stuff. What you can do is a video that you might have scrapped, send it to them. A video that you might like, a video that you scrapped, and then you're like, I'm not going to post this, but like I've already shot it. Send it to them, so that way when they're editing the video, they're not just going to one-to-one copy the video that you already put up, but at the same time, just also having like metrics in terms of what you want from that editor, kind of thing, right? So
Yeah.
like when I have my editor for a lot of things, I'm like, hey, these are the things that I want. I can take care of X, Y, and Z. I need you to take care of A, B, and C. The only bottleneck sometimes is like with these travel trips, like I can't go on my computer and like finish off an edit. So sometimes things get a little bit more spaced out. But
Yeah.
like in a regular day or regular month, like I'll record the first 7 days of any month is where I record like crazy. And then I'll organize all the footage. I'll put it in DaVinci Resolve, have it all organized. I'll set up a Hive account so there's like a communication going back and forth. And be like, this video is going to go for this. All the folders are there. The grading is there. All the visual effects are there. When you have a draft, send it to me. And then when it's ready to go, it gets sent on a timeline. I touch it up, and then the video is done. But I think one of the things which makes it harder for people to find editors for their style is being able to articulate what that style is to another person so they can understand it.
Yep. Yeah. It's
like client work. It's like client work. Like if you ever have a shoot where they're like, hey, can you do handheld stuff? And you're like, I don't know what that means. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck, I just had a shoot like that where they're like, oh, we just want a little more handheld. I'm like, doing what?
Yeah.
And they didn't have an answer, and it was really difficult.
Yeah. Obviously, I have a pretty, I think, bold brand and style. And so for me, it's hard to find somebody who can understand that from the same
Communicate
world.
it. Send a pitch deck to them. Send them an SOP. Do you have an SOP?
No. I don't even know what that is.
So SOP is a standard operating process. And basically what it is if you were to dictate what your style is and like the fonts that you use, the color you use, music choices and all that other stuff, literally anybody can jump on your editing team. That can be anybody, and they would have some idea of what they're doing.
I think you guys can see Kofi does not have ADHD.
No,
this man is structured.
You know I don't know
what
kind of guilt you would I don't know what kind of guilt you would call it, but I feel guilty being neurotypical.
Well,
because
I wouldn't feel guilty about it. But I think you're in a rare circumstance when you are around a lot of people who, have ADHD on the spectrum, any type of neurodivergent type stuff. You are in a rare playing field of not being one of those people amongst people. I think it's kind of common that a lot of creatives have ADHD. And that's why we get into this, because we naturally fall into things that just work for us. Where Kofi is like an all-star athlete who has a work ethic that crushes most people's. So, but you also come from
parents, bro. I have immigrant parents.
That's literally what I was about to bring up. Like, you have immigrant parents, and so all of my friends who have immigrant parents, they are kind of, their work ethic is a little bit different.
We used to call it it was funny because we called it the African six pack when I was in high school. And the African six pack is essentially you took all 3 AP maths, all 3 AP science, and English. Or sorry, you took 2 AP maths, 3 sciences, 1 and then English. And that was what you had. Like you didn't have a choice in the matter. Like you could have went to school for basket weaving. You had to take those 6, and they were the hardest courses because our immigrated parents thought that like if you don't take the hardest classes, then like you ain't shit. So with YouTube, and I haven't really talked about this before, but with YouTube, my parents basically have the same expectations of me getting my PhD, but they've just changed PhD to the silver play button. That's it. That's usually where like when you see me start posting like 12 videos in a row, well, like when you see me post 12 videos in a month, it's because my dad called me and told me that I have to pick up the slack. 100%.
That's dope. I wish my mom cared that much. My mom's more just I'll tell her things, and she goes, "How'd you do that?" And I was like, "By working." Doc Rock has a good point here for all the ADHD peeps. For me, it's all about systems and that you can make repeatable, a must for us ADHD people. So I agree, but I call it more routines. When I have the pleasure of staying home and living in my routine, my ADHD gets way better. I can actually focus. I'm a lot happier of a person. I'm less stressed. From morning to night, it's a little bit more balanced. The hard thing is when you're having to travel a lot, whether I was doing the commercial work or still doing commercial work and now doing like some press trips here and there, or just meeting up with other creators for expos and shit. It's very dysregulating. And it's a battle on ADHD. So Yeah, exactly how Indigo, how you said right here, hits you hardest when you sit down and edit. I'm the same way because editing's incredibly fucking boring. So I can go out and shoot all day. I go and shoot projects all fucking day, and it's not an issue. When I'm on set directing and stuff, I'm living my best life to the point where I've had clients come up just saying like, you seem so fucking happy and locked in. And that's literally because I thrive. My ADHD thrives in those environments there. So, Kofi, do feel lucky, but don't feel guilty that you are a normal person.
Yes. Sometimes I feel weird and I'm like, am I the only, like, because like when you guys are talking about like Adderall and stuff, and I'm like, I've never taken that. And a lot of these things these guys are talking about, I've never experienced. And I don't know if I'm supposed to. I don't know. And I guess also too, when you meet a lot of people that have ADHD or they're on the spectrum, they're incredibly good at one thing or incredibly good at like a few things. Where I'm like, wait, like I kind of want, like if it means I'll be a better creator, like I'll take. Can I contract it?
Yeah.
But obviously,
yeah, I mean, Kofi's already outworking all of us. And not only is he outworking all of us, even when like we're in public and stuff, he is more outgoing than I'll just speak for myself. More outgoing and personal and just, I can see homeboy, his foot's hurting or something for standing all day. He doesn't say shit about it. This guy does not complain about shit. Meanwhile, the rest of us are like, oh, I'm so exhausted. And
that also,
Kofi will hide it.
It's weird being extroverted. It's weird being extroverted because then I'm like, I want to talk more to people.
Well, clearly, most of us are fucking nerds and introverted. And so, yeah, Kofi's just a standout. He's an all-star athlete of YouTube. And yeah, and it's exciting because I feel like there's more of those guys coming to the space. You got like Tom Shaw and, all the pretty buff boys out there and everything.
Ooh,
and
Tom and Marcus got a podcast going with, I think it's like Aperture or something like that. I think they started doing, they did like their first shoot, which is going to be cool. I love the idea that you're going to get like guys like Tommy, Marcus, the guys at Film Lab, Josh Miller. I just talked to him yesterday. He's going to get back on his channel a little bit more because he's doing his own thing.
He has great work.
Yeah, he has amazing stuff, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good people in the industry that are kind of like that towing the line of like still have a production company, but also want to share a little bit on social media that are coming to YouTube. And like in a less secure version of myself would be insecure about that. But for me, I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be cool. Because these people we're going to shoot with. They're going to end up working with, right?
Also, guys, last thing that I'll gas up Kofi about. The fact that, a true man is a man who can admit when they're being insecure. I've learned that in my late 20s of like, holy fuck, I'm an insecure dude. And the moment you can fucking admit that to yourself is the moment you can stop giving a fuck anybody thinks. And all of a sudden there's a whole lot of happiness that follows with that when you just don't give a fuck. So there you go.
To anybody that makes like weight comments at me, I'm like, bitch, I know I'm fat. What the fuck you want from me?
Yeah, but you could still fucking probably throw them off a roof easily.
I could throw your car off of a building though.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, I got to show my light some love here. Shout out to G Taylor. Hey Cam, watched the video on the new light. I went and looked at the website and it looks like an amazing value compared to other options out there. I appreciate that. A little bit about the light real quick. It was, were you about to show something, Kofi?
No, I actually was going to have a question about your light when you're done.
Oh, okay. So the launch is getting interesting because of all the bullshit politics happening with the Orange Man. And, we're already going to possibly have some shortage of materials, but we should have more stock in a week or two, I believe, which is good. But the issue is the ports coming into the States are dying. People don't want to pay the fees because it's not just tariffs. This has a domino effect that affects everything else. So I promise I will be transparent and keep you guys updated regarding the light and what's going to happen and everything. Worst case scenario, if the tariffs get crazy and there's all these upcharges that we have to do, I'm going to beg Zhiyun to just pause the sales on it. I don't know if that's even possible because obviously, they invest money into this and they have to recover that money. That's how business works. So we'll see. This is, obviously, Zhiyun, I wouldn't say is a huge corporation or even a corporation. They're not, I guess they're technically not a small business. somewhere in between there, but you can imagine everything that this is going to affect. But anyways, enough with that. Let me show you the light real quick. I'm lighting myself right now with this light. I actually might do a dedicated video showing lighting sets for lives, because you know, this whole, you see Kofi, Terry, and I think even Brandon Washington and Jarrell are doing anamorphics for their lives now. But for me, I like making everything look fucking cinematic. And in order to do that, sometimes you just need a little bit of a kicker light on you. This is what it looks like without my light on me. That's my exposure. And then this is with my light on. You guys can see I'm only at 14% on it. And let me just show you real quick what it looks like. Kofi, I'll just take 60 to 90 seconds on this, then we'll get back into it. So,
bro, it's your live stream.
Let's see. So, let's see if I can move this Pixis. I wasn't really planning for this. Let me open up this. Oop, camera's about to slide off the... I didn't touch
Hey, you know what'd be really smart though is if you Kofi cup that to the wall.
So that's what I was about to do, but let me raise my ISO. I'm too far from the wall here because I am on a smaller softbox. So this softbox is great if you're going to be somebody who, you guys can see, I'm sitting right here. This is how close the light is. So the softbox looks great when you're able to frame tighter and you're closer to your light like that. This isn't something, so again, if I put their bones mount adapter on this, because again, I'm only at 14%, so I can easily, you know, there's a lot more output that I can get on this thing. But say if I did have a larger softbox on there to kind of get softer light, I could easily put a Kofi suction cup on the wall. You guys will see in the video, I do some, oh, actually in the video, it's already out. Go watch the damn thing. You'll see Kofi cups in there 2 or 3 times actually. And yeah, you can imagine you can put a Kofi cup right up here, a magic arm straight into this. This is incredibly light. I have it plugged into DC power. It's not battery powered. It's with the cable that comes with it. And that's it. That's my lighting setup. Again, it doesn't take much to make things look cinematic. All it takes is some simple knowledge on how to shape light. Let me, come on. So that's pretty much the setup. I'm gonna bring Kofi back on this. So that's all the setup is. And you guys can see, again, I'll turn it off one more time. That's with it off. I have my window open now, so you're seeing some gross lighting that doesn't make sense on me right now. It's ugly, gross split lighting. I'm gonna turn this on, and you can see it pretty much almost kills, it overpowers that light, even at 15%. So this is what's magical about little lights like this. If you know how to position it, if you know how to utilize it, they're extremely powerful. And that's all I'm trying to do in my videos is showcase. Because again, I've been using these lights for like a year or two, not this one specifically, but all the little tiny Xenon lights. And yeah, again, I'll do more videos with my own light, obviously, but showing how I utilize it and how it doesn't take, you know, I have giant lights back over there. It doesn't always take those lights. Like it just takes some, again, knowledge. What was your question?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the Bowen's mount adapter that works on it. Have you tried the larger softbox on there?
Yeah, I haven't done it in a while because usually if I'm using these lights, it's for, you know, I'm traveling or I'm doing something just like this. I think the last time I used a larger modifier is when I lived in LA. So that was almost a year ago now. And I did a photo shoot with it. And yeah, they work just fine because the adapter goes onto the light stand.
Yeah.
And that's what's holding everything up.
Perfect. So I'm actually gonna buy about 2 more of those and keep them as like a running gun car setup. Because usually what I'll do if I'm gonna shoot and I want lights outside, because like, you know, if I try to go outside and the sun's a bit too high,
Yeah.
I have nowhere to hide. I'm screwed. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to keep a little setup in the car. But yeah, if it works with a bigger softbox, that'll be really dope, especially when it's like lower light or nighttime.
Yeah, that's if you're trying to battle daylight, and even this softbox will be a battle in daylight. This isn't going to do much, honestly, unless you get it like on your subject.
I'm talking like
nighttime,
late afternoon.
Yeah, like blue hour.
I got a dope shot coming in a couple weeks from I was telling you earlier. It's huge. It's a giant gas station in the middle of nowhere.
Oh yeah, that's
a little bit out of the city. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of the RGB effects to kind of motivate the light from it. It's like a big red, blue, and white gas station.
That's gonna be dope.
Where I used to. It's actually right beside the Canon building.
Oh, I know there's one over there. That's what I love about these lights is using them, like finding practicals and using these lights to motivate those practicals. So you guys see I got neon in here. There's little LED neon signs throughout my house. And, I'll just put these lights into RGB mode. The X60, even for stuff like that, would do just fine. You don't have to go out and buy this one. But the lens reflector and the barn doors that I helped made. Hang on, where's the case go? So that's why I was so annoying with June, yelling at them like, guys, please, like make this and give this to us. Like we desperately need this. This is going to help you control it to where, it's not going to flare out your lens like crazy. So, yeah. Anyways, enough shilling about my light. If you guys have any questions about the light, the collab, you guys know I'm overly honest. It's an issue. I keep getting myself in trouble for my honesty.
Yours took a lot more conversation than mine. Cause like, I think me and Brandon were pretty much on the same wavelength. Because I think I still have the prototype because they sent it to me and I'm like, oh, this is cool, but like it could use a couple things, and we were more concerned about the materials used rather than all the mounting because it's not electronic, right?
Yeah.
So we were more concerned about like what materials are going to be the strongest ones because I don't like, and I even had to go out and source out batteries. It almost had batteries in it. Sourced it out, wasn't that worth it? So there's a lot of like that kind of groundwork. Not a lot about like there wasn't a lot of arguments about the design except for whether or not we wanted locking NATO rail, or like how big we wanted the ratchet straps. So originally the ratchet strap holes. Hang on a second. I don't know. Should I get the cup?
Yeah. Yes. Guys, I know for me because I have Tilta's electronic suction cups. They're fucking amazing, but at the same time, they don't have the suction part. So say if your battery dies or anything like that, you have no way of sucking them down. Let's pause real quick. Hang on one sec. On top of that too, I'll shill for Kofi here. I grab my suction cups, but they're in my Bronco. I have a case with all these rigging parts. But the electronic suction cups are super cool. But say if I was trying to, like I just went to Texas, say if I was trying to travel with the suction cups and the electronic suction cups started to go off in my suitcase, TSA is going to grab those and, take out my box and all that stuff, thinking it's going to be something sketchy. So there still is a huge place for these more traditional suction cups, but these are now, these have all these built-in mounts on them. So I've been able to put all these magic arms onto them and just rig crazy stuff out to them. So still, again, with the electronic suction cups, two totally different tools, honestly.
Yeah, and I think there's a couple things that we wanted to battle with because I didn't want to just use it for car mounting. With the battery, because the motor would go automatic, if you put a microphone on there, if you wanted to capture audio to have like full standless setup, you'd hear that monitor, you'd hear the thing kind of that every time it resuctions itself. So I'm like, well, if you have no control over that, it doesn't make sense. Also, if you forget to charge your batteries or it rains, you're screwed. And as much as I love Tilta stuff, I've never wanted to take any Tilta electronics out in any moisture at all. But one of the things I was going to show you guys, hang on a second, let me see if I can put this up. Okay, so these things right over here, these little loops that were on here, these are for ratchet straps and safety hooks because a lot of people get really weary about car mounting or mounting onto stuff and it not falling off in a moving car. Originally, this space right here wasn't big enough for you to actually turn the NATO rail in. So at first we're like, oh, we'll just use it for one purpose. And I think some other, like anyone else that does it, like I think they're a little bit small. Like that's one of the only things we had to do. That and also deciding this was almost two pieces. This was almost going to be one flat piece with a NATO on it. And we decided like it's cheaper and it's easier doing it that way. And there's also, actually, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. There's more to the Kofi Cup that is coming out later on in the year. And I'm going to shut up for right now.
The little mounting points, I don't think people realize that traditionally when you use suction cups, you have to figure out how to get a ratchet strap set up onto your rig because suction cups usually don't have the mounting points. And so it's like, cool, yeah, my rig, if it falls off, hopefully it swings and doesn't hit the ground. What's different about these is the fact that you can tie them off to the suction cup. One, you're adding extra security and stabilization to that suction cup directly. Two, if anything falls off, you're holding the rig up, especially if you're able to put a mount on each suction cup. Even if it comes loose, hopefully it's not going to move around that much. And also tying it down too is going to help the suction as well. So, you
can also mount these towards each other. There's also there's a quarter 20 and it has enough space for the RE locating pins on these guys. And I believe the space on here, this loop's a little bit bigger, but you can still fit those if you want to put them on there. I would recommend if you are going to car rig, if you have any of the cine arms, I would recommend using RE locator pins just for the extra little stability in there. Because sometimes if you put it in there and you twist, if you don't have anything that's kind of like stuck and fixed, over time it'll like you could twist it off if you're going super fast in a car or if you hit something.
I actually don't like using ratchet straps. I use these things called rock straps. I think it's about ROK straps. And I found out about them because I used to do like solo motorcycle trips. Literally, I'd be like, I got a week off, nothing to do. I'm gonna hop on my bike and I'm just gonna hit one of the freeways. I'm gonna just keep driving. So, I would head to New Mexico. I would ride for like 3 days and just go hang out there for a few days and then ride back. So rock straps, they're similar ratchet, to, the rock straps are similar to the ratchetness, but they're just a little bit more simple. And they're more based on the fabric design, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. I'm explain it horribly. Yeah. But I'm able to put the strap through that part and not just account for the hook. I'm able to actually utilize the full strap in through that hole when they fit through there. So
depending on the straps, you could still fish it through. But yeah, no, that was the biggest thing for us was we could either have battery operation, which takes you 5 seconds to mount down a suction cup, if we're going to be honest with you. Or would I rather one that could hold a 300-watt light off a ceiling with 2 cups? And we want the second one.
Yeah, Kobe's been doing like crazy setups with it, and he'll randomly send us pics. And then literally, Terry and I in our group chat are like, why did we never fucking try to do that? Like that's... So even
we made a swing with Lucas on it.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Lucas is a big fucking dude too. He's tall. He's not big, he's tall. Yeah. But the tall is a lot of bones, a lot of density. But yeah, even when I was in Texas, I mounted my camera to the window. I mounted my light to the window. I think I put on the cabinet once as well, just to put the light on there. What else did I do? I think that was it so far. In the Bronco, I've rigged it a bunch. The windshields and the side windows. I have an aluminum hardtop on there, and it sucks on there pretty well too. So... We do have Anthony Rod, yeah. I know it's fun talking about suction cups. There's a lot of indie windows here. What's up, Anthony? You shill, you vertical shill. Yeah, Indigo and Iron. Yeah, I'm similar. The Lumixes. I mean, honestly, my Leicas, I have way more fun, and my Nikon ZF, they're way more fun than anything. But the Lumix with all like the built-in LUT stuff and all that. It's kind of a no-brainer when it comes to photography for me personally.
I'm still on that. Like, I want more. I want them to make a GFX 50R Mark II.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll ever do that. I think that's the
X. I know they won't.
100 RF,
but I'm like,
or whatever it's called.
I'm in it. If they could pull it off, I'm in it. I'm sold. I'll get it. I'll buy it. I'll buy it for the same price as the 100 RF.
Guys, it's funny because everybody who has now gotten to like try the GFX 100 RF in depth, all of them are saying it's basically the X100 with better image quality, but with a similar look. Yeah. So you're not getting that medium format juice out of it, which sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm actually going to compare it to my 50R. I'm supposed to get one from Fuji this month. I know in my hearts of hearts I'm still going to probably like it. Like the 50R more. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I love them all. I think the RF would be amazing for my road trips when I do my X-Pan work. Honestly, that would be like the perfect camera for that. Super fun. But I do have the X2D, and that camera is actually really small. And they did send me the 25 millimeter. And the image quality, because it's the f2.5, image quality is fucking insane on that lens. But it's like the size of this mic, but a little bit bigger. So... when I'm doing more adventure stuff and I'm just trying to get fun X-Pan stuff, it is kind of a tank setup, which is good. You guys can see I have a X-Pan print right up here. That was shot on actual film though. That was shot on the Fuji TX1 on, I think that might have been Portra 800 or 400. So yeah, I don't know. Let's go through these comments more. We got people chilling out with us. We got 80 viewers up in here. We have 41 thumbs up and 2 thumbs down.
I ain't see no super chats though. I ain't see no super chats though. You better
y'all know what's crazy? Okay, so Kofi and I did a live on my channel, and then we went live on Kofi's channel, and Terry popped in. This motherfucker got like 30 fucking super chats. I was like,
that was stupid. That was insane. I have no idea what happened there.
I was like, where's that love on my channel? I didn't get none of that money.
You know, they were safe. I mean, I haven't got it yet either, to be honest with you.
I honestly don't know how it works.
I'm trying to find out if I could find out where the super chats are. I'm trying to see how much money it actually is.
What are these dock pops? What are these?
I think they're pop filters.
Ooh. I'm going to need one of those. I want that. I do. I did see every time I do a live, there's at least one guy asking me where I got this. This is off Etsy, and it's made for the Rode, not the USB-C one. It's made for the phantom powered one. And
gotcha.
I went and I painted it with a bronze paint because I saw Levi Allen. If you guys know who that is, incredible filmmaker. Holy shit, is he talented? And he's incredibly tall in person as well, which is annoying. Just talented and tall. That's not fair. But anyways, he had a bronze pop filter. He didn't remember where he got it. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to get this off Etsy and then paint the damn thing. So I paint a lot of things. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you buy something and you wish it was a different color, you could paint that damn thing.
you could send it to Cam's house. He'll paint it for you.
Oh yeah. It's not going to look good.
Honestly, you should have a service where you make where you wet sand people's Nikon ZF dials.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of time. That actually took me a couple hours to do because you want to be careful with that. But I used to build motorcycles with my buddy, and he taught me a really good saying, and it's far from good, but good from afar.
Good from far. Yep.
So far from good,
I might be
but good
some
from
people
afar.
Describe me like that.
Yeah. Well, like I always say, I look better in the dark. Ooh, did we?
Yeah, you do.
Ooh, we got $2.
I meant you do have a super chat. Not you look better in the dark. Sorry. Just going to clarify that one real quick.
I mean, it's true. It's fine. I'm used to it.
What happens in Austin, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
I'm playing. I'm just joking.
Jesus. Man, we got Manny Ortiz with a super chat.
Oh, Manny Ortiz.
Share some of the shill money.
Let's go, Manny.
If you're sharing some of that shill money, Manny, we know you got some more than that. Come on, where's it?
Show me that Manny preset money. What you doing with shill money?
You got modifiers, and you're one of the OGs.
Yeah, show me that Manny modifier money.
I think you're missing another 9 on that. No, I'm kidding.
We gotta get Manny on these live streams too.
Yeah, Manny.
Manny, if you want to jump in, man.
You guys don't know this, but Manny in person is incredibly humble and quiet. Incredibly humble and quiet.
Manny won't let me give him compliments, and it makes me really upset.
Yep.
Every time I try to compliment Manny, he actually gets visibly mad at me, and he tells me to shut up, and I get really upset about it.
That's Manny's a good guy. Manny, I would love to see you do a live. If you want to hop in on ours, I just say don't do it only do it if Terry's not around though, because Terry's the troublemaker. Edmund also said,
I feel like anyone with kids don't watch these lives because you never know where it's gonna go.
Oh yeah, you guys should see our damn private chats. They're pretty ranked.
No, they shouldn't. They should never see those private chats ever.
Wait, so Edmund said, "Cam ran to you at NAB and told you to keep the good work. I've been in digital media for 25 years, and I've learned that haters can be your biggest fans. You guys keep up the great work." So I know Kofi covered this chat earlier, but I just had to say, a few of the haters were at NAB, and we're not shocked, but some of you guys might be shocked to know they would come up and try to act like homies, try to dab me up, try to talk. One of them even begged for me to talk to them and was like, "Come on, man, you gotta be like that." I'm like, "Nah, I gotta be like that because it's like that." So that's what's funny about these haters. These little soy boys, they just want attention, guys.
I will say it's even more interesting because I mean, I think you get it far worse than I do. Maybe because people are afraid I'm going to beat them up. But But it's interesting, the same people that kind of disparage like YouTube culture and stuff like that were the same people that would either want to pick my brain for a coaching session, which really means they want brand contacts, or they'd be at the same brands at NAB trying to get I'm like, I thought you were the anti-shill hero. What are we doing? What's happening?
Guys, behind closed doors, not all these guys, but some of these guys are contacting brands we're working with, trying to get access to them and everything, and they just get a little bit butthurt if they don't get any traction. But here's the thing. I could speak for Kofi and I on this. We never expected anybody to hand us fucking anything. And if they said no, it wasn't like, oh, fuck them. It was like, I need to fucking figure out what I'm doing wrong. I need to up my game. I need to figure out what I need to do for these motherfuckers to take me serious. Yeah, I got to show harder. I'm going to just say only positive things moving forward. Quick question on the from D-Row. Will your For Now be available to purchase without the entire kit? I'm not sure about that. That's a good question. I would ask, I'll ask the June team and see. Yeah. My business brain is saying no, like you got to buy my light to get access to blah, blah, blah. Cause that is the For Now and the barn doors are like the main things that I really fought to have. And, those are like my little babies. I'm really proud of those, and I'm excited that we now have them. So it would be cool if we could sell them separately. Maybe I'll float that to Jiyun. People in the chat, anybody who's interested in the light, let me know if you guys would be interested in just purchasing that alone, because then you'll be able to use it on your original X100 and your X60s as well. Let's see.
We got a Jason Morris in the house.
Ooh, I'm trying to catch up on chats here. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, you're pretty. You know what? Just start from the bottom and work your way back up, I guess, or just start from whatever the bottom is now at this point.
Let me see. I'm almost there. Hey, what do you think about the Fuji X Pro series? I'm looking to grab one. They're good. I like the Leicas more, but obviously those are way more fucking expensive.
Hi, Connor.
So it's unrealistic for me to say. He can't hear you on here. Kobe said hi.
Oh yeah, shit.
He said, "Hey, Kobe." Sound just like him. Yeah, Gabe, I agree.
I feel like Connor sounds the same as if his dog spoke English.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I feel like if Connor's dog could speak English, it would sound exactly like Connor.
Did you see the chat right now? Jason Chavez says, just watch Pirates of the Caribbean for the first time, and dang, Cam cooked. You guys, I used to wear a flat brim a lot with like my prescription glasses or prescription tint glasses. If you guys see me wearing sunglasses inside, those are prescription tints. And the reason I started wearing those is on the motorcycle, I would be out. I used to fucking live on my motorcycles. And, I would need eye protection. And a lot of times when you're wearing sunglasses and then you're riding at night, it's impossible to ride. So the light tinted prescriptions, they're way more expensive, but, you wear them day and night. And so that's why I wear them. But anyways, when I used to wear my flat brims way more with any of those glasses, I couldn't go out at night. Drunk people just nonstop. Hey, it's Johnny Depp. Hey, man, you look like a pirate. Hey, bro, anybody ever tell you look like a pirate? Hey, anybody? Just nonstop. So I stopped rocking some of my favorite hats.
Zhu called you Jack Shillow.
Oh yeah, that's my Threads bio. We got Mr. Chris Brockhurst up in the chat.
Crick Brockhurst is wild. Also, you were like an hour behind in this chat.
Wow,
Chris is the last person you saw.
Kofi, you recommend the Diesel Vestas Primes? Well, actually, before Kofi answers that, I'm getting my hands on those goddamn Arl's Luster, and I'm beyond fucking excited for those, and I have some crazy ideas for that shit. Anyways.
I'm actually getting Arl's plant. I just talked to, I talked to the plug, the common plug we both have. I might get the regular Arl's. So I might have to fly up to California, do a little compare ski.
Or I might need to fly to Canada so I don't have to pay any freaking tariffs on mine.
Yeah, honest to God, probably. But yeah, no, Vespa Primes, highly recommend. They actually went on sale. They're like almost half off. I think they're like $800 a lens now. They used to be $11.99, I think, each one, but I'm pretty sure they all went down by like a couple $100 permanently instead of just being on sale like they were last year. No, Vespas.
Oh, the
And that's also because
Vespas,
like
yeah.
the Vespa 2s are coming out soon, so that's probably why.
Yeah. I never really was too attracted to the Vespas personally. I don't know what it was. Oh, well, obviously you guys know I love character. And the Arls
Yeah.
look like they have some juice to them, but still with the clean look. Also, here's a really good comment. Derek Little, he asked, been a long time follower of both of you guys, and I always stop to watch your stuff. My question for you is, if you had to start from scratch, would you roll with the S5 IIX or the FX3? That's a hard
What
question.
year? What year is it?
I guess now, right now.
It's right now.
Mm-hmm.
S5 IIX.
Yeah. There's
And like because there's more affordable, like A, there's more affordable anamorphics. B, there's like a lot of like third party lenses are getting into L mount. I If it's today, I don't use slow motion as much, so shooting in 6K 24 or shooting in 4K 24 or 4K 60, it's not the biggest deal for me. And C, I think what the S5 IIX is $2,000 less than the FX3.
Yeah. But wait, he added more
If I'm
context.
starting, okay.
He said, I'm in the automotive space with occasional weddings and try to figure out the best route. Derek Little, if you're only doing video, if you're doing any automotive space that's high action, FX3.
Yeah, FX3, yeah. That makes more
But
sense.
for everything
and also
else,
weddings too.
yeah, but well, for everything else, I would kind of say the S5 IIX might be the better one. I do believe the Super 35 mode on it has a faster readout if you're worried about rolling shutter. But there's just so many damn good features in that camera. What's crazy, you know, the FX3 is supposed to be a cinema camera, but the S5 IIX low key has more cinema features in it, which is wild.
It's Lumix, I think, because they had such, like with the GH4, I think they had so many of those like those video centric capabilities that it's cheaper for them to just keep porting it over and expanding on it than it is to take it away.
Yeah.
So they keep adding like another feature every single camera that comes out. There's like another like Lumix Lab came out, then there was internal ProRes RAW, then there was more
They're
squeeze
listening.
modes and all the
Aaron Frisbee said, okay, after a few weeks of the S1 or S1R2 and after shooting 2 weddings with it for video, plus some commercial work and plus a short film soon, I have a love/hate for the camera. Aaron, what's your love/hate with it?
I'm going to guess the overheating and the rolling shutter.
Yep. So we could circle back to overheating again. I do want to touch on tariffs a little bit more here in a second before we circle back to that, and then we'll wrap up the live. But then he did follow up saying, but definitely better than the competition. I agree. Let's see.
Probably tariff strategy now. Like I think strategy now. The tariffs.
Ooh,
are in
okay, yeah, guys. So in the chat, guys, as we're trying to go through here, ask us because again, we do have some insider information on the tariff stuff, and we, Kofi, Terry, and I, we've been talking nonstop about new strategies as content creators on how to handle this. So before we get into that, jam up the chat some more with your guys' questions if you have any questions regarding that. But let me try to blast through this so we can catch up. Let me see.
You're gonna have to go real fast. You got a bunch of super chats you're missing.
Ooh, okay, we'll go over those too. Do you think the future of cameras is going to be smaller sizes, 2025 and 2026, like FX3? I don't know. I mean, we got box, like the Pixis and everything. So
yes and no.
Michael Tobin, I've been thinking about this as well. Sorry, go ahead, Kofi.
I'm gonna say yes and no because I think still people want that. Like, so this is like the R2. Like, I think people still are gonna want this with viewfinder and everything. Like, people are still gonna want this. But I do think that because, and I don't think if you guys know this, there are more consumers of camera technology than there ever has been and ever will be right this second. So as much as like we've been talking about tariffs and stuff like that, even with that, there will still be people that are going to get into making content that are still going to want to know what camera works for them. The consumer base is still going to be bigger. It's just more widespread. That's why you have cameras like the S9 and the ZV-E1 and the Osmo Pocket 3 being like such a high selling camera. It's because there's so many people that are going to get it. And like, to be fair, there will be people that like from the, say there's 1 million Osmo Pocket 3s out right now. 100,000 of those might be like, hey, I'm ready for a big boy camera.
Yeah.
And where are they going to go? They're going to look at schmucks like us fucking reviewing cameras and be like, oh, well, which one does work? Let me go get whatever the case might be, right? So
Yep.
that's just an aside to say there's, despite the tariffs and everything like that, there's still more people entering new media than there ever has been in history.
Yep. Alamanox said he bought a MacBook Pro 14 M4 Max, and from before that, it looks like he had an old Asus ROG Intel NVIDIA. I don't know what any of that means, but yeah, if you never tried the M chips, holy shit, it will change your goddamn life. Giovanni asked, ADHD related question: have you reviewed those headphones at Cam? No, these are the Marshall Monitor 2 Plus or something like that. They're not, I listen to a lot of Kendrick Lamar. These aren't the headphones you want to rock for those, but I do have these Technicas. I think these are by Panasonic. These low key sound good. Oh, Kofi's rocking them right now too.
Yeah.
Those low key sound really good. I had the Beats Pros 2 for my workouts. Holy fuck, do I love those. Those are in ear with the hooks. Those are amazing.
Nope, can't do it.
Yeah, Kofi's. I think Kofi works out too hard to have in-ear headphones.
Don't like in-ears. They will fall out and I'll lose them.
Yeah, see, Michael Tobin even said, I love hanging out with Kofi during public events. Means I don't have to talk as much. Yeah, Kofi's like, his brain's like just firing.
Maybe I do have ADHD. It's just a different version of it.
No.
Maybe my ADHD.
You got something else.
And I just talk too much. I got something else.
Yeah, you got the opposite. Else. Ooh, Anthony, I'm excited for you to see what you do with my light. Maybe put some peanut butter on it. Know what I'm saying? Anyways, without the kit, everybody's asked about the for now without the kit. I don't know, guys. Again, I'll talk to June about that. Here's a good one. I'm learning. This is Ilario.
He gets active.
He says, I'm learning to overcome my self-esteem issues so I can get back into filmmaking time again to make more short films and other projects. Both of you, Cam and Kofi, help with that tremendously. Yeah, bro. My biggest input for that is just stop giving a fuck. You got to realize nobody's perfect. Literally everybody has insecurities. Some people are just really fucking good at hiding them. I'm so insecure about things, but I definitely am way more careless when it comes to what anybody thinks about me. I know as long as I'm happy and proud of myself and I am not, it's not coming at the expense of anybody else's happiness or livelihood, then, I don't give a fuck. So that's my biggest thing for you. I'm sure Kofi might have some good advice on that.
I would say, and I think a lot of people's insecurities about a lot of the stuff that goes on.
Pause real quick. Pause real quick. Sorry. Doc is talking about a lot of 420 stuff and, it's fun seeing it. Anyways, go ahead.
I mean, he's about a week late and Doc ain't say happy birthday to me. So I talked to Doc right now. I'm joking. My birthday was like 5 days ago.
All of a sudden your cam shuts down.
Yeah, trust me. He suddenly stops working. I would say, and this is probably something that I was a little bit insecure about, but I kind of let the traditional filmmaking world dictate what my relationship is with filmmaking up until like 2 weeks ago, where I just kind of stopped caring. Because I'm like, you know what, at this point, they're not going to, like, if someone's hurting me, they're not helping. So I would also say if you're someone getting into like doing short films or commercials or just filmmaking in general, like only listen to people that you'll take advice from.
Yeah. Yep.
And like kind of shut out, because unfortunately what's happening now is like the industry's kind of in turbulence, or it's in shambles really. You're going to get people that are going to take those emotions out on social media or anybody starting, and that might be discouraging, even if it doesn't affect you, right? It's so easy to be like, oh, it doesn't affect you, why should you care? I'm like, yeah, but like if I want to go to my favorite restaurant and people are throwing chairs at each other, I'm probably not going to go in for a meal.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. I agree.
But yeah, so don't let people ruin it for you. You'll feel a lot better.
Yeah. You gotta, again, I keep my head down in my work for the most part. With my ADHD comes a lot of justice sensitivity, which is why I start becoming kind of a monster on Threads sometimes when I see something happening that I think is in the wrong, whether it's affecting me or somebody else. And so, I'll go off a little tirade sometimes on, calling people out. But in reality, I'm focusing on my work. And when you're just focusing on your fucking work and making sure you're proud of yourself and happy, you don't have time to look up what people are thinking about you. Let's see. How dim can the X100 RGB get? The X60 is so good, but in a few small step scenarios, use that 1% still too bright. It's the same situation with this X100. Again, I think when people see how small they are, they think, the output is can go like super dim. The wattage, there's only so much you can do when the watt's still rated for a certain level, from my understanding. So, yeah, there's been plenty of times where that's happened to me. And basically what I've done is I put toilet paper, paper towels, or a bag in between it to kind of kill down the luminosity out of it. Let's see. Remember the other stream? Super chat. Okay, here's one of the super chats. Okay, we're finally getting it to.
If you go to your favorites, your super chats automatically get favorited, and you can add through all of them at once.
Let's see. Shield team. Doc came in with the super chat. Shield team tropical division. Mahalo. Yeah.
Yes.
That's funny.
I'm here for it.
Yes, Manny is the best. Manny's laughing in the chat. Giovanni said, I learned so much from Manny. Manny said he's down for the next one. All right, Manny. You're gonna be in one of these lives.
Oh God. Rest in peace, Manny.
I know. Get ready for it, Manny. Make sure you take those meds.
It's gonna be trial by fire.
Jason said, because you need that IMDb profile to be a real filmmaker. You guys know what's crazy is I have a lot of projects where my name should be on them in IMDb, and I just haven't given a fuck to correct them or to list them. I'm like, I really don't give a fuck. All my bookings come from word of mouth and my work. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you have to like pay a fee. Someone told me that you have to pay a fee to like even register your name. Like, I'm like, well, that sounds like a flawed system. I mean, obviously they verify that you're actually on IMDb, but like,
yeah. Personally, for me, all of the opportunities I've created for myself or that have come to me and that I'm incredibly grateful for, and all the work I booked has purely become either from word of mouth or because my fucking work just speaks for itself. And that's not me trying to be cocky. All I'm doing is I'm just trying to put work out there that I can be semi-proud of. I'm not proud of 90% of it, but I understand that some of it's decent. And so, that kind of just, I never really, I don't want to say I never had to worry about money, but I never had to worry about being strategic on how to generate income and blah, blah, blah. Just kind of.
Also, I'm going to just go out and say it. People that had IMDb credits made Madam Web.
Man, what?
People that have IMDb credits made Madam Web, which is one of the worst movies of the year.
There's a lot of motherfuckers with IMDb credits, but you go look at their own personal work and it's like, oof, like I didn't know people like that could get on IMDb. Doesn't mean shit.
I'm just saying it's not a barometer of one's goodness. I'm sure that like there's people that are very hardworking in every single film set. I should probably correct myself and say that. But yes. I don't think that having IMDb credits does not automatically mean you're exceptional at a particular thing. Yeah. Similarly, you can be a college basketball player and there could be some kid in a third world country that might be able to play play better than you if they have the same coaching and experiences. So,
Yep.
I wouldn't let that be discouraged.
As Kendrick said, don't tell no lies about me and I won't tell no truths about you. We got another super chat here from Videograph Koste Kiparan. God, I'm bad at this. Thank you for the super chat. He said, why did Nikon drop prices on the Red camera? I don't know. Probably because their manufacturing resources possibly are more bigger and fluid. So with that, you could drop prices. That's just a guess. I don't know.
We called that like last year.
That's
exactly what Nikon's doing. We called last year. One, they were going to drop the prices of their RF mounted cameras because I'm not going to make Z mount lenses and sell you RF cameras and not get rid of them as fast as I can. And two is exactly that. What Nikon's 110 years old. They have
Yeah.
they have far more manufacturing capabilities than Red does, or Red ever did.
Yep.
So it's when with the increase of supply, the price goes down. So
They're
anybody that is not
OGs.
familiar with anyone that's not familiar with microeconomics, generally speaking, the more something you have in stock, the price goes down. Similarly, the less the demand. I don't know, but you know that little graph thing, whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, you get a company that can manufacture your stuff twice or 5 times as fast. You're gonna get some price cuts.
Larry asks, I'm starting to see more stuff on the DJI mirrorless camera. Do you think it's going to be a thing? Some of you guys may know I'm pretty freaking tight with DJI because when it comes to the Pro line, I've kind of stepped out a little bit to make some, videos that I could be excited about. So that's the thing with DJI gears. It's so they're so innovative and useful for the stuff I do. So sometimes I get inspired to fucking go overboard with my videos, which, I'm just hurting myself with my energy, but I don't know anything.
Camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with all that said,
I don't think they know anything.
Yeah. A lot of these people, you got to understand when some of these products are being made, whether it's Japan or China, wherever they're being designed, they're not even telling the rest of the team sometimes. So I know zilch on that.
Actually, side question. One, I finally got confirmation I will have a Ronin 4D coming my way soon.
Dope.
Thank God. But two, if we were to guess when we would see a Ronin 4D, or not a Ronin 4D, mirrorless, I don't know what the hell you'd call it. Anyway, mirrorless DJI camera. With the stuff that's out now, what do you think you would have to do with the stuff that's out now?
I don't know.
Because I think we made this hot take a little bit earlier. Like, I think we did it before the trip, but even more so, I think we did it way, way long ago before the S1RII even came out. So I'm like, well, now the S1R2's out.
Yeah.
It would have been I'm in my head. I'm like, it kind of would have been the S1R2 because we didn't have to change the sensor if you already had it in the 4D.
I think if it was again, guys, I know nothing. Either a medium format camera, or if it was a global shutter and had full frame open gate. But the biggest thing, I think it would have come down to more physical features rather than the codecs and stuff. Because the 4D has internal NDs. Obviously, it's a gimbal camera. The UI is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
We all know if you try Blackmagic's UI, it's amazing. I think it's one of the most easy, most fluid. DJI's is even better, which is fucking wild. It's crazy. So I think it would kind of come down to that. They would, they're masters at wireless and ecosystems. So I think it would be like the Apple camera of our whole thing here. So I don't know. I don't really know. Also, Doc
Give me
Rock
just
said,
a DJI box.
Doc Rock said, Kofi got that shea butter DHD.
He was talking about the peanut butter on your friggin' light.
No, he's talking about ADHD. So you got that shea butter
HD. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's racist, Doc.
I feel like African starts with A too. You could have used that. That's fine.
Oh yeah.
Doc Rock, throw chairs over jollof. I mean, if there's a Nigerian in the room.
We got Matt Granger up in the. I think that's how you say your name, bud.
Hey.
Up in the
Granger.
in the live.
I like Granger.
Granger, that's what it is. He's an OG up on here on YouTube. He said, "Fun chat. IMDb feels a bit like LinkedIn for the creative world." Facts. Yeah, that's actually a solid way of saying it. Let's see.
Got 2B people on IMDb. To be fair, I'm not gonna say these films are bad because it's not like I'm out making more better films than Madam Web or stuff that's on 2B. I'm just saying that I just don't use that as a litmus test of whether or not somebody's good at something or not.
Yeah, it's not really a metric in my eyes. Okay, let's talk about these tariffs real quick, and then we're gonna dip out of here.
Yeah, tariff strategy.
So we were actually talking about this earlier today. I was up in the mountains in the middle of the backwoods with my dog on the phone with Terry and Kofi, just letting life dwindle away, talking to these guys.
I was in an Uber on my way from the airport.
So I've been screaming this shit since before the U.S. elections, but basically, what I said was possibly going to happen looks like it was what's going to happen. So with the tariffs, obviously, if people stop buying shit because there's a stupid fee on top of everything, that means marketing budgets go down. And just pause real quick, guys. This doesn't just affect us. This affects if you work professionally in this space as a filmmaker, photographer. This is also going to affect you because once products aren't on the shelves anymore, once products are getting this added fee onto there and nothing's even coming through the ports, that means the shelves are empty. That means we don't even have access to products. And this could be products from camera gear that our gas doesn't need, all the way to important things like toilet paper and toothbrush and, toothpaste and whatever. When that happens, all of a sudden people aren't going to be spending money anymore. That means marketing budgets go down. When marketing budgets go down, that means, the competition within YouTube, and in reality, none of us are competing against each other. But say if a brand comes out with something fucking lit, all of us are going to want access to that. And, if there's a chance to get it funded to do a video on it, then duh. But not all of us are going to be able to get access to that. So all of this, as a content creator, we're going to be getting hurt a little bit here. So I'll let Kobe take over here in a second on our strategy because we pretty much, everybody's kind of aligned on this. And it's kind of already where our community was already heading. But outside of that, again, yes, we're talking from the perspective as a content creator, but more importantly, you guys have to understand, apply this to your own life and whether your job can correlate with this or if you're working professionally, this affects everybody. So enough with that. Now, Kofi, go ahead and explain to them kind of what we're thinking here.
Okay, so there's so many things at play here too, right? Because there's the dropping of the marketing budgets and how partnerships show up. And I think we were talking about it a little bit before. There's going to be more of an interest in more dedicated kind of product videos and product content, which is fine. But I think what we have to also think about is that at the end of it, at the core of it, as long as you're making good stuff, that's kind of as much as that's such a cliche thing to say, that is going to be the driving force for pretty much everything on your channel. So for example, when new cameras come out, I don't do crazy affiliates, but you'll still get brought onto trips even more so than other people. And I think the reason why is because there's still a little bit of that brand awareness that, yeah, maybe I don't buy a camera today, but I might buy it tomorrow kind of thing. But at the forefront of things, at the end of everything, make good videos. Because if you make good videos, other opportunities make themselves known. For example, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this, in the whole the commentary around you're doing this because you're paid by the camera company with camera bodies or even lenses from the major brands. That's often not the case. Oftentimes they legitimately do not give people money because they have the product. That's the exchange they make. And it's kind of part of the culture where when a new camera body comes out in embargo, I don't know anybody that's been paid money for an embargo release. But here's the thing at the same time. If you think about it in terms of tech and camera reviews and stuff like that, it's existed forever. People are still going to watch it for the same reason why I can't afford a Hasselblad X2D, but I'll watch Cam's video on it. There's still going to be viewership that's there, which will open up other opportunities, particularly for service-based companies. So when you're thinking of service-based company, you're thinking your Artlist, your audio, your Epidemic Sound, Squarespace, things that may not have tariffs to them because it's not like they're giving a physical product they have to ship across the world. Those are things you're going to see a little bit more common. If you ever watch an embargo video, when someone says no money changed hands, whatever, but this is sponsored by Storyblocks, Squarespace, or whatever, they're being genuine in that because it literally is sponsored by those companies. That's where the money actually comes to keep the channel running, so long as I keep making good stuff. So at the end of the day, I'm thinking, and what you're going to see probably more dedicated reviews, but you're also going to see a lot of these service-based companies, which also isn't a bad thing. Because if you're into filmmaking, you're into videography, and you've already bought your camera, you're working on clients, or you're making your own stuff, at some point you're going to need a music licensing. At some point you're going to need a website. At some point you're going to need all of the tools that you constantly hear people talking about all the time. And you're only going to see a little bit more of that. And you're also going to see a lot of live streams like this, a lot of workshops, either offline or online. And I think where the next money grab is, or not the next money grab, the next gold mine, I would even say in-person events. 100%. I mean, Cam, I know you don't like being social that much, but I'm going to say the next big thing is going to be meetups, in-person events, bringing the community on in real life, because that's the one thing that AI can't take.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole different conversation too with the AI stuff. But real quick, I'm going to show my light some more. You guys can see this is a second Molis X100 RGB. It's at 1%. This is a little, I'm going to give you guys a quick, super quick little lighting tutorial here within 60 seconds. A little trick that I use, even in photo shoots and fashion photo shoots, is I will blast a light off the ceiling, and you can see it adds this beautiful blue tonality, and it looks really natural. So I do this a lot, and I go even more saturated with it sometimes as well. But it's just to create a little subtle room fill, and it creates some like natural light ambience that you would naturally see if there's like a sunset or anything like that. So a little bit of a hack. But I think, Kobe, go ahead and share a little bit more. I'm going to set this up.
I got one more. Because I think someone made a comment. Joker's wild. When he was talking about the collapse and more than half the jobs and workforce will lose their jobs. That is probably more than true. I have an economics degree, so that from what things happen, yes, workforces, budgets, and things will get slashed down, which is incredibly unfortunate. From the creator side of things, one thing that I will say is what happened during the pandemic when people aren't working. What's the first thing that they do? They consume meat. Well, they drop their lights. They consume media. And during the pandemic, where nobody effectively had a job, or the vast majority of people didn't have a job, what did? They consumed social media content. Where you had the pandemic boom at a time where people couldn't spend a lot of money because nobody was working at the same time. So again, that kind of goes back into being good at making good content, because then you can capitalize off the opportunities of having viewerships. Despite the tariff conversation, despite everything else, despite the job market changing, despite Hollywood kind of falling apart, YouTube television is the most watched media platform than Netflix. Multi-billion-dollar companies aren't going to take things sitting down. They're still going to want to sell and market something. Your best bet is to try to control what you can control, and the only thing you can really control here is how good you're making videos, whether it be on cameras or whatever. The sales of the camera almost matters less. Also, because your affiliate percentage you get back is so friggin' low that you could buy for me to get the value of one camera, I would have to have you do affiliate. I'd have to sell 40 of them on affiliate marketing if we're talking about B&H. That's insane.
Yeah.
To get one camera value back, to get one unit, just one.
Yep.
Right. The key and the crux of everything has always been to make good content people want to watch, because it opens up more doors than just camera companies giving you money, which on embargo releases, at least they don't give you anything.
Yeah. Also, you guys saw me drop that light twice and it's still working. So that wasn't the first time I've dropped them. Yeah. I mean, personally, I don't want to say that this is going to be good for our community, but I do think, people got a little bit too focused on just gear, which is just natural because there's so much fucking stuff coming out after COVID. People, these brands were catching up, and there's just technologies, pushing constantly. And so it's hard for us, the trap a little bit that I fell into is, you start getting invited to all these things, and next thing you know, you don't have time to create the videos that you've been wanting to create the whole time.
Yeah.
So now I'm finally at a place where I can start kind of pushing back on that and just making shit that I enjoy. So the approach that I've been doing, and anybody, you're welcome to steal this approach. But when it comes to doing a dedicated video on a piece of gear, traditionally, I think a lot of us used to think, oh, I got to make this whole video about like this one camera. But now I'm kind of like, fuck that. I don't want to do that. Let me talk about something that I'm excited about, mindsets or techniques and yada, yada, yada. And while doing so, I will utilize whatever the gear is. And you'll realize on top of that too, I've only ever talked about shit that I actually care about. When you do that, and naturally it just kind of falls into the pocket of the stuff that you want to make. So what I've been learning the past few months of doing this is my numbers, like my views, have just fucking blown up, because you can tell the content. I'm a little bit more excited in front of the camera. And the more important thing is I'm creating value for people to watch. This isn't a me show. All of us, Kofi, Terry, everybody, we all understand this. This isn't just about me. We understand we have responsibility to add value. And guess what? If you're not adding value, your views aren't going to be there. That's just kind of how it works.
Yep.
Now, obviously, the algorithm, it can be a little bit messy, and the channels can get a little bit messy, and some videos just fucking flop. We have no control over that. Yeah. But for the most part, you know, if you're generating just lots of value for your audience, and you can obviously tell that you care about the audience, I have a feeling we'll be okay, hopefully. And for the people in the chat, let us know. Let's just say shit hits the fan. There's no products to be bought. Everything's like 3 times the price. Companies aren't innovating anymore just because they can't afford to. Would you guys still watch? What type of content would you guys watch? That's a better question. Are you guys gonna be watching embargo videos, or are you guys gonna be focusing more on creative fun videos, lifestyle stuff? Let us know.
I would say just go back to what they did. I think it's just whatever the content is that you're excited about, people are going to watch, and that's just my personal opinion. And I can only use the pandemic as the precursor, like as the view into that, because that's the closest thing that we're going to get to, right? One was a sweeping disease we didn't have a vaccine for. We all had to stay home and not go to work. So it wasn't necessarily things got more expensive. It was things were around the same price, but we had far less money.
Yep.
Right. So when you have far less money, you're not buying anything. You know what I still watched? I still watched the Peter McKinnon video. I still watched the Maddie video. I still watch everyone that I watch, or everybody that I watched then would still be the people that I watch now. Whether or not I was able to buy the thing it was kind of irrelevant to me, because I was just interested in what that person had to say. And I think that's what I mean about like making good content. You can still make videos on gear, just have something interesting to say. But if you have nothing interesting to say, it doesn't matter. The economy could be booming, but if you have nothing interesting to say, then you're going to get passed up anyway, right? So I think there's going to be an avenue. We talk about this all the time, where you start developing a little bit of your own voice, but in the confines of things that people are interested in anyways. If I'm going to guess, I'm assuming most of the people in this audience would probably still watch us tariffs or not, right? And I'm assuming if brands aren't coming out with stuff, hence they have marketing budget, that whole spinning of the block. Like if brands don't have marketing budget, they're not coming out with stuff. That means that we have less gear to talk about, but we're still making videos. Well, then if we're still making videos and people still want to hear from us, then the gear becomes less relevant.
Yeah.
But it's just something that we're excited about right now.
I mean, if you're a content creator, my advice to you right now is, well, to everybody, one, save your money right now, I would say. If you do have some change to play with, right now, literally like right now would be the time to buy. Because in a week, shit's going to hit the fan, guys. Within 3 weeks, reality's going to set in. Even our supermarkets and our grocery stores and stuff, like, it's going to be worse than what we experienced during COVID. Because during COVID, people, couldn't work, but we were still producing some things. Now, I'm talking specifically to people in the States. Like there's shipments aren't coming in anymore. Our country operates, we are purely just consumers. That's how our economy survives, is we just buy shit. And when there's nothing to buy and people are too scared to spend money, small business, big business, everything's going to be hurt, So my advice, save your money right now. Right now, if there's like a job that you have on the fence and you weren't sure if you want to take it, fucking take that job right now and knock it out, get paid ASAP. The crazy thing is Cheeto Man, he can change his opinion overnight and everything could go back to normal.
Yeah, he could change his, I think they actually, not anything to do with tech, but I actually think they removed one of the Chinese tariffs like today.
Oh, really?
It was a different industry. Yeah, I think they removed one of them. I can't remember what it was. I think I read it somewhere and I was like, oh, word, okay.
But guys, let me just tell you again, like 5 months ago, I think it was, I was already asking companies what they're prepared to do. They're all prepared to raise, like double the prices, basically. If the tariffs come, we'll have to double our price. Now what the conversation is switching to is any gear that we saw at NAB, we might not be able to get our hands on now. No one. It's just everything's going to get put on pause. on top of that, whatever releases may have been planned, that shit ain't happening this year now. That shit definitely ain't happening this year. Even if they were locked in or ready to go, that shit ain't happening this year now. So this is, obviously we're just talking about fucking gear and it's like stuff that we probably don't need. But again, this applies to everything. This applies to the stuff even that you do need. And for everybody who's buying gear to get work, think about even event people. Yeah, even people who thinks, oh, I do events, I'll be fine. No, because people are going to be saving their money because our economy is unpredictable right now, and that's not good for business for anybody. So I don't know. So again, yeah, my what I'm preparing to do, I'm saving my money. I don't think there's anything that I'm planning on buying. Obviously, I have ADHD, so that can change within moments. Yeah, I got some stuff that I'm gonna try to offload here soon. What I might do is wait till the shit hits the fan and then try to only upsell to MAGA people. So,
upsell
drama.
What, do you want their voter card before they come and buy it from you?
Yeah. I'm like, I'll trade you that hat and I'll triple the price and you can get this.
I think, and like, I mean, I guess a lot of people that are watching this stuff are also creatively enthused or something like that. Hang on, yeah, it affects the small business people too. Yeah, so any physical product stuff, man. So I would say one thing you might want to consider getting into is non-tangible. Find your market in the non-tangibles, right? Like, so, and that's where I said, if you're on the fence about making content, I would start doing it right now, because as people aren't working, what are they doing? They're listening.
Yeah, and guys, what's crazy is during COVID, a lot of channels blew the fuck up during COVID because all of us dumbasses are sitting at home watching the content, not doing shit, just drinking and doing what with yourself. And in reality, I wish I wasn't doing all that, and I wish I was doubling down on YouTube. I started way too late. I wish I started during COVID, because if everybody's kind of stuck at home being miserable, we might as well try to have fun, produce some content, and who knows, maybe you can start a whole new legacy for yourself, I guess we'll call it.
That's where the weird part's going to be, in my opinion, is, and it's the same cycle that happens in COVID, right? Like, COVID happens, world shuts down, people can't buy anything. They're at home. They're consuming content. A percentage of those people might say, hey, I want to try that YouTube thing because Cam's doing it. So then they start figuring out how to make content. But then they start also buying stuff and making content. You know what I mean? Like, we're kind of in a weird circle, because the thing that people are going to consume the most, we're also teaching them how to do, but also has financial incentives from the brands that make it's going to be interesting to see, because even during COVID, like, I think I still bought cameras. I still bought, I think I bought a cinema lens or two. And I was still kind of freelancing here and there. And like, you know what I mean?
Because the difference was, the difference was like people, after a certain amount of time, were still able to go work and make money and stuff. The difference now is
Canada.
If we don't have in the States, the difference now is if we don't have an economy, if we got nothing to buy, a lot of people are not like just, a lot of people aren't just buying shit. A lot of people are losing their fucking job because, companies aren't making the money they used to. They can't afford to keep all these people employed. So I don't know. I know some people probably think we're just being hyperbolic and shit. I'm literally, there's moments in my brain when I'm like, should I like empty my bank account right now, take cash out? Again, it is volatile as fuck out here, guys. Literally overnight, it can get bad. So you can think I'm being hyperbolic all you want if you are, but you gotta,
I'd say
if you learned anything from COVID, you need to be fucking prepared for the worst.
I say just control the metrics you can control and double down on those controllables, right? If you are someone who's in freelance videography or someone's in freelance filmmaking, I would double down in making things a little bit cheaper. B, I would make sure that you're taking care of your clients really, really well. If you're a content creator, I would say if the world is going to, one of two things are going to happen, right? You're either going to be able to get money from these marketing budgets from physical products, or the entire United States is going to be sitting at home in front of their computers and their televisions. And because of these tariffs going on, that also means there's less things on Netflix.
Yeah.
which also means the attention span on YouTube is going to increase dramatically in all social media platforms. Your best case scenario as somebody who already has a skill set above the average person is to probably contribute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
probably contribute into that ecosystem.
Stefan said it pretty well. He said viewers give their time to creators that they connect with and enjoy. So this kind of circling back to what Kobe just said about Netflix. We know content's fucking getting horrible. It's getting garbage. Like these studios are just getting a little bit complacent of just pushing out content. And to us, we might be like, who the fuck's watching this? People like my damn family. Anytime I go to my family's house, they're watching some garbage on that TV while they're also on TikTok, just, doom scrolling. So people are consuming it, but at the same time, as, that content gets worse, people start realizing, oh, I go to YouTube and type whatever I want to watch. And there's most likely going to be some content, and not only just some content, but some kind of decent quality, high grade versions of that content. So Doc says something kind of important here too. He said, if I ran a marketing department, which I do, I would put out content that kept my current customers engaged and happy. This is something that all of us have been screaming about, specifically us creators who, come from different cultures, I guess we'll say. We understand how fucking important community is. So even more so, when shit hits the fan like this, like community is the only thing that you really have, guys. So, if you don't have a community right now, start working on it. So the next time some shit happens like this, you're going to have some shoulders to cry on, some hands to hold, some people to go out drinking with and be wild with when there's nothing else to do. So.
I don't know. My best advice is to what Cam said. Maybe don't spend money on frivolous things, or the idea that like it'll get you work. I don't think that's the model anymore. I think that was a very pre-2022 way of doing things. But also at the same time, like, yes, things are going on, but you can only control what you can control, man.
Vu said it best right here. So just as Kofi said, don't spend your money on frivolous stuff, but Vu just said, so everyone needs to buy X100 RGB and Kofi cups. Yes. So save your money, but go out there and buy My Light and Kofi's sucker things that he put his name on.
But go out and create, bro. Yeah. Go make some shit.
Yeah.
Let's go make some shit.
You guys could be sucking onto things with Kofi's name on it. Okay. Vu then said,
gross, but yeah, okay.
I feel so good. I just bought another Kofi cup. Vu sold himself.
I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty sure I got that referral email just a second ago. Because someone bought something that's exactly the amount of a Kofi cup, and my affiliate commission is in my email. So whoever did that, thank you.
Andreas, I saw a bunch of people actually say this. Love the new light, but really should include a tiltable baby pin adapter. I agree. That thought kind of passed my brain because I have a bunch of them that I paired up, and I do recall being annoying that it didn't come with one. So after all this tariff bullshit is done with, I will circle back with Xiyun and see maybe if we can include one of those in there, because I agree with everybody who has complained about that. That is a fair complaint. That is not haters or anything like that. That's what I'm talking about. We need more, good ideas.
I was just sorry, there was another comment about the tariffs and government subsidizing unemployment and then not being able to afford things. And I'm like, oh, and I guess this is kind of a weird, we have different perspectives, I think, because we're in different countries. Where in Canada, we're like, like it sucks, but like, we just got a new prime minister yesterday, and it sounds very much like he is going to try to create agreements with other countries that like we don't get hit as badly as tariffs. We're also a smaller economy, so like.
Yeah, that's what's crazy though, is all these other countries are now banding together, and they're just going to remove the states. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? We don't make anything in this country. It's made everywhere. And world trade, you guys, I'm sure most of you guys in the chat right now understand this, but the reason world trade exists is because, for instance, let's talk about fruit and vegetables. There's certain things that only grow in America, and there's a bunch of things that don't grow in America. That's where world trade steps in. Also, we do not have the fucking infrastructure or economy to pay people properly to be able to afford things are going to be made here. None of it makes sense. In my mind, it's like if our U.S. government actually gave a fuck, they would tax the people who own the corporations, the people making the shots, saying, hey, you dumb bitches, if you want to sell products in the States, if you want to be a U.S. resident, if you want anything to do with our country, you need to bring operations back into this country. Instead, we get the Cheeto Marshmallow Man saying, oh, we're going to do tariffs. And it doesn't affect the fucking businesses at all. In reality, it affects the whole fucking world. Doesn't make any sense. Anyways, I won't get too political on this live. I already pretty much did, but
yeah, I mean, yeah, I get it's weird because I'm definitely with Canada being a smaller country, we also have a smaller economy, which also means we take smaller punches, but we also get smaller wins.
Yep.
So like, yeah, it'll be weird here. Like shit's already been expensive. Like that's not really, nothing's really changed that much. But yeah, the fact that we don't have your buddy at the helm, I just wish that things didn't have to pass through U.S. ports. That'd be great.
Yeah, and that's all. Yeah, and you guys are getting hit by that.
And eventually there will be some things where there will be new trade ports because there's more than one country you could access Canada from. So that is maybe our ship times are going to be a bit longer.
But guess what? Once these tariffs are over with, you guys will be like, oh, well, we already got these ports built in. Might as well just keep them. Where the states are getting... Vu said, I'm about to open up a B&H bitch. And he said B-I-C-H. Bitch and ho-fo nails and massage with happy endings for $29.99. No tariffs, no tax on tips, all kinds of tips. Vu's wild.
You're about to see a lot more LUT tax coming from me.
Vu needs to go live. Vu, you need to start doing lives, bro. You might get yourself canceled, but I think you'll be fine. Okay. I think we're nearing the end on this. Jesus, we've been on this for 2 hours and 16 minutes.
Yep. And we did not manage to get through an entire stream without talking about tariffs. But then again, it was in the title. Yep.
Kenneth, I mean, we'll go a little bit. We'll go 5 or 10 minutes more. We'll go to 10 or to 2:20. So we got 4 minutes, 3 minutes. Kenneth said, just started at Best Buy and the fear of buying is so true. I don't know how markets like tech retailers are going to survive after this. Someone said, maybe create your own YouTube Netflix. That's pretty good. Someone said, I'm done. Stop with the tariffs. We have troops in 90 countries to keep peace. We patrol the seas to keep trade lanes safe and open, yet every country puts tariffs on our goods, I'm assuming he says. You got to understand, we have one of the largest world economies. Smaller countries putting tariffs on us, that's like a small mom and pop shop in a small town saying, hey, we're going to put tariffs on Walmart so Walmart doesn't kill over our business. That makes sense, okay? That makes sense. Let's see. Mr. Camera Junkie. Homie, I don't think we said howdy to you yet. You've been in the chat. Sorry. He said, go suck in the name of Kofi. Wow.
You said that out loud, Cam. Someone clip that.
Yeah. Vu said, that dang affiliate sale for the Kofi sucking cups was definitely from me. All right. Cool. I like this. This is the new narrative we're starting here. Kofi likes sucking things. Is that a stretch? That's not a stretch.
I mean, it is kind of a stretch. There's a little bit of a stretch.
That's fine. Anyways, we will end on that note, guys. Thank you for tuning in on this live. I think Kofi and Terry might be going live tomorrow. I might be joining in as well. Do you recall what time Terry said he's going live? Okay.
I think it was 11 Eastern or 8 at night.
So guys, since we're starting to do more of these lives, I'm usually not the type of person to ask for this, but if you want to capture these lives, hit the little bell icons, go to Kofi's channel as well, and make sure you say notify me for the lives or for everything or however it works. I don't know how it works. But yeah, personally, I cannot get on a damn schedule for these type of lives. It's just my life's a little bit too messy to be doing that. So, but do be ready. Kofi, Terry, and I, we definitely are planning on doing this. We're just trying to follow in the footsteps of Brandon Washington and Jarrell because they are crushing it. And we see the waves they're making.
I want a subathon.
What's that? I don't know what that is.
It's when you stream for 24 hours straight while people subscribe.
Oof, I'm physically and mentally drained just from this.
So here's the thing. You can check in and check out.
Oh,
like if the three of us are doing it and we have more people in it, as long as somebody's on stream.
Oh, I see. I'd be pretty selfish with that though. I'd be like, I'd probably get like an hour's worth of content for the day.
No, bitch, you got to stay in.
Maybe.
Oh, hang on a second. Even better. We do a subathon. The super chats are split up proportionately for who stays awake during the subathon.
Ooh, I'm down with that.
We get 1/24 of whatever we make in the day.
Kofi, you know how much I don't care. Kofi, you know how much I don't care about money.
Okay.
It's unhealthy.
We'll see.
It's unhealthy.
Hey, we'll see. It's one day.
I don't know if this is going to pan out.
It's one day.
Your stuff's cutting out slowly. All right. Again, guys, go check out Kofi and Terry's channels tomorrow. One of them will be live together, most likely, and I may be joining in. We shall see. They're going to be talking about even more juicy stuff here. I'm sure Tariffs will come up.
Yes, we will.
And probably some camera rumors. Ooh.
No, I think it's going to be tariff-free, but there's definitely going to be it'll be spicy, but it's not going to be tariff. It's going to be tariff-free.
Yeah. Also, I hope you guys know how stressful these lives are about not saying things. Anyways, on that note, goodbye, guys. Kofi, you want to say anything before I end it?
No, man, just focus on what you can control, man. World's kind of weird now, but in every single economic crisis, somebody has been made a billionaire.
Yep. And all I'll add to that is make sure you're creating things that you could be happy and proud of. Because at the end of the day, sorry, I'm crying because I was still touching what Kobe just said. At the end of the day, we're all going to die, so, make it worthwhile. Live your life. All right. On that note,
buy Kofi cups and cams, X100 Molus Light.
Yep. Sucky, sucky.